and a pleasant good evening to all of you hockey fans. Neil Villapiano alongside Kyle Manifold, and we bring you another playoff edition of Live Watch Along here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. And tonight is Game 3 of this Eastern Conference showdown in the first round between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Islanders. And this is a really intriguing game because the Islanders, as most of you know, had a 3-0 lead late in the third period against the Hurricanes, looking like they were well on their way to evening up the series at a game apiece. And the Hurricanes ended up scoring 5 unanswered goals, including 3 within 80 seconds to win Game 2, steal that game, and now we're up 2-0 as the series shifts to Belmont, Long Island, the home of the New York Islanders, UBS Arena. And so, as always, guys, make sure to leave a like on this stream, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We are just about 4 or 5 subscribers away from 5,000 here on YouTube. So make sure you guys share this with your family and friends. Get them to subscribe as well. Your number one destination for all of the excitement of the Stanley Cup playoffs here for Live Watch Along. So, Kyle, here we are. It is Game 3. The Hurricanes are halfway towards moving on to the second round of these playoffs, and they're coming off that big emotional comeback, their third franchise 3-goal comeback in their history, and they're certainly coming in with a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence, despite how everything went down in game number 2.
Every reason to do so, but it can change on the fly. Just like that, right? Hopefully the Islanders don't blow another lead, right? You could have gone into this 1-1, right? Feels like a must-win game tonight. You go down 3-0 to this Canes team, it's going to be a pretty uphill task to try to win 4 straight, and try to move on. So it's not impossible. I think you're still okay if you're at home for the Islanders, trying to give them a little bit of hope. But I don't know. It feels like if you give them one game here, especially tonight more than any other night, it's going to be a battle to get back into this series. So it's a good thing, I guess, that the Islanders are home, but man, this Canes team has been on a roll, man. And this team can score at a fast pace. So it's gonna be a good one tonight. And I also kind of noticed on the scoreboard that they have the Islanders pegged in as wild card 1. I don't know if you see that in brackets there.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Okay. So I thought that was a little weird, but just so I don't forget my predictions tonight, because I feel like I will. I feel like the Islanders will get back into this series. I just can't fathom them losing this in a sweeping fashion. So I'll give the Islanders the benefit of the doubt tonight. I'll say they win a tight one here. I'll say they win like 3-2 or something like that. And I think this goes to overtime.
It's really funny because that's exactly what I was going to say for my prediction. I have the Islanders 3-2 in overtime in this one. I think that they're going to feed off of that crowd in UBS. We know that the Islander fans come out in waves, especially in the playoffs. It is a rocking place, whether they played at the old Nassau Coliseum or playing here at the UBS Arena. They are excited. They are ready to go. And remember, Kyle, last year that the Islanders were down 2-0 after losing the first 2 games in Carolina, came back and won Game 3 after scoring, I think it was 4 unanswered goals in the third period to win that game number 3. Now, ultimately, they ended up getting knocked out in, I think it was 5 games, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're
but nonetheless, like you said, a series can shift in a moment's notice, and a team is not truly in trouble until they lose a game at home. So until that happens, it could be in a couple of hours from now, I still think that the Islanders can make this a series for sure. So it's really going to be intriguing. So I see that we already have a couple of predictions.
Yeah, bring them up.
Gaza actually has the Hurricanes winning 5-4 tonight, and I believe Jared Brown has the Hurricanes winning 4-2. So far, we have 2 picks for the Islanders, and we have 2 picks for the Hurricanes. And again, you have until the beginning of the third period to leave your score prediction in the chat, and we'll see if anybody gets a special shout-out if you are correct at the end of this. But again, we are so close to 5,000 subscribers, so I'm really going to be pushing for you guys to like, subscribe, share this with your family and friends, and let's get to 5,000 by the end of tonight here. And yes, Andrew B. bringing this up, legendary broadcaster for CBC in Hockey Night in Canada, Bob Cole, passed away at the age of 80. 90.
Yeah.
So, look, as an American fan, didn't really get as many opportunities to listen to him. He called a bunch of games down the stretch with at the end of NBC's run covering the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I got to listen to him a little bit, but nonetheless, rest in peace to an absolute legend of the hockey broadcasting world and Bob Cole. Kyle, I know you had a couple more thoughts since you've had, you said that was this guy was basically your childhood.
Yeah, like I'll quickly touch on it. Like Saturday nights growing up, like this is a voice you kind of don't forget, right? Especially if doesn't matter like if it was a Leaf game or a Habs game or Sens game or whatever, right? At the time, this is just a legendary name that you don't forget. And so it's a sad day today. And Colby Armstrong actually put it out on Twitter today. He put out a touching, it was a video, I guess, I don't know if he found, I assume he found it somewhere on Bob Cole. I encourage everybody to go watch it. It's moving. It gave myself goosebumps today, and it's pretty phenomenal. He had an incredible career, and hey, he made it to 90. I mean, good for him, right? Not a lot of us in this lifetime make it to 90, so good for him on a legendary career. And rest in peace. So it's a pretty unfortunate day, but let's back that up with some good hockey tonight.
That's what I was going to say. Let's honor the man's memory with what should be a really, really exciting game here tonight. Again, game number 3. Either the Hurricanes find a way to put the Islanders on the brink of elimination and go up 3-0, or the Islanders force a game 5 back in Raleigh and put themselves only 1 game behind, going down only 2-1. Duke doing well, excited for this one. We thank everybody so far who's joining in. We got about 18 people. We thank you all.
Hey, we got Cat.
We do have Cat. Cat, finally, we're covering an Islanders game for you. We know that you've been waiting for it for a while. And no time like the Stanley Cup playoffs to be doing so. So we're excited to be doing this game. Kyle actually did game number 3 between the Leafs and Bruins last night, which the Bruins found a way to win that one, go up 2-1. Florida, by the way, in the only.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'll bring it up. Matthew Tkachuk in the Panthers Lightning game number 3. He just scored at the 7:55 mark, so it's 1-0 Florida. That game is currently going on right now. Goaltending matchup here today for this one. Freddie Anderson once again in net for the Carolina Hurricanes. Big story for the Islanders coming into game 3. Ilya Sorokin, who's had a really, really tough year with an over 3 goals against average and a just over 9 save percentage, will get the start in game number 3 for the Islanders at replacing Semyon Varlamov. And it's crazy the fact that, Sorokin's the lesser of the 2 goalies when you've seen what he's done in the past. So we'll see if it pays off, as both teams little pushing and shoving here as we are just about ready to get underway, as the ref having some words with Pajot and Jordan Stahl. And here we go. It's game 3 of this East first round matchup between the Hurricanes and Islanders is underway. So really, I think for me, Kyle, the big thing I want to see from the Islanders is feed off of this fan base, this crowd. We know how loud they can be regardless of the venue, and they're going to need it if they want to get back in the series for sure, as Anders lead with a turnaround shot that gets fought off by Anderson.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it too at home, right? I mean, you got to set the tone early. You got to come out fast. You got to come out strong. If you're, for the Islanders, your season is pretty much on the line tonight. Like, I don't know, like, what do you think? And maybe I'll leave it up to the chat too on this question. Like, would you rather, I know you don't want to lose games, particularly in the playoffs, but would you feel better, like, rather losing in, like, if you won tonight, for example, right? You lose game 4, like, you'd probably feel like still okay knowing that there's a game 5, right? And like, obviously going down tonight, being down 3-0, like, you don't want that to happen, obviously. But I mean, what do you think?
I think that's a really interesting question because, if your season were to, let's say, come to an end in 5 games, I would say that ideally you would like to, as weird as this will sound, you would prefer to lose game 3, win game 4 to at least win one more game in front of your home fans before you get knocked out. I think about like last year with the Devils in the second round against this Hurricanes team. They won game 3 in that crazy 8-5 win. And then got destroyed in game 4, and that proved to be their last home game of the year. So not an ideal way for the season to end. But again, you're not thinking about that, obviously. You're hoping to find a way to win both games here at home and, even this series up. And I think if the Islanders can do so, win tonight, win game 4, they give themselves a really good chance at game
I
5.
think it's doable.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's totally doable that they can find themselves back in this series. There's no reason why you can't win 2 home games. And you just said it too at the top of the hour. Like, you lose 1 game at home, you're in trouble, right?
Right. Without question. And I think
Yeah.
the one concerning thing I have with Carolina, because this is a very talented team, very deep team, both in the forward core and also their defensive unit, is that goaltending. Yeah, Freddie Anderson has looked great down the stretch after coming off of his injury, but he really did not look good in game 2. Like, he really did struggle a ton, letting in some soft goals. They had 3 goals at one point. I think it was because we were doing the game that started right before that. We were doing game 2 between the Leafs and Bruins. And I think at one point they had 3 goals. The Islanders had 3 goals on like 9 shots or 10 shots. It was not.
That was Avs and Jets.
Avs and Jets, right. It was not a good outing for Freddie Anderson. So hopefully tonight for him, he can bounce back, but that's definitely like a question mark for me. Is the goaltending going to be there for Carolina? Because that might be the only thing that I would have some concern about. From the Islanders' perspective, again, the offense needs to be there. It was early on in terms of, getting a couple of goals. And granted, it was from your main guys, but you got to get more of that here going up against a very offensive-minded Hurricanes team.
Do you think Ilya Sorokin becomes the X factor tonight?
That's the thing. I always look for storylines, and I think that this is going to be a storyline. Is that Sorokin had a really, really tough year, like all season. As it looks like, according to Andrew B, that William Nylander will finally make his playoff debut this season.
I heard differently.
You heard differently.
I heard from Elliot Freeman say that he's been dealing with a severe migraine. I know he'll come back this series, and maybe he is coming back for game 4, but I don't know. Like, well, I mean, it's good. I actually wouldn't be surprised now that I'm thinking about it if he comes back for game 4.
Yeah, and I think that I feel like the Leafs do need a boost after last night's game.
And we also didn't talk about the NFL draft for about 20 minutes before we jumped on tonight.
Yeah, no, and we'll I'm going to talk to you guys. It's a great diving glove save from Ilya Sorokin as Svechnikov was crashed in the net. I think did they call a penalty? I got to look again. Because Svechnikov got knocked down, but I don't think they called anything.
I don't think they called it, no.
But I think Ilya Sorokin is an X factor, and I love this type of storyline. You're down 2-0 in the series. You need a boost. And even though Sorokin has had a bad year to his standards, this is a really good opportunity for him. There's no time like now to step up and be that top-flight goaltender. Because just last year, Kyle, I think a lot of people would take Ilya Sorokin as a guy that you would want, in your foxhole long-term. Even some put it over, Igor Shesterkin, who's, just down, a few miles back in the city.
Yeah, for sure. Do you put a lot of blame on, I know they go to Sorokin because you're trying to change it a little bit, but you put a lot of blame on Varlamov back in games, specifically game 2 when you blew the lead?
I don't put it on him a ton because it was one of those things where once the Hurricanes grabbed the momentum, it just came in waves. And the Islanders' defensive breakdowns were awful. I mean, really bad. They just they didn't know what to do in that situation. 5-3 Isles with the 5th being an empty netter. So Tron's actually also going with the Islanders, but the Hurricanes strike first. As I believe it's Jakob Slavin from the point through a screen. And the Hurricanes, less than 5 minutes in, grab the 1-0 lead.
Oh, no. Worst cat.
It's actually,
oh, no.
It's the big bearded man himself, Brent Burns, with the goal. And so again, the Hurricanes grab the 1-0 lead on just a bad goal through so much traffic. And I got to look again on this replay. Oh, it might have hit off of Morgan Riley in front.
Morgan Riley.
Or sorry,
Mike Riley.
Mike Riley.
Jeez Louise.
It's still M. Riley, okay? M. Riley. There you go.
You're in the suit, Neil. Let's get it right tonight.
I know. 23rd playoff goal of his career for Brent Burns. His first point and goal of this series. That gives the Hurricanes the 1-0 lead. As do we not have their goal?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that. Do I have it? Nope. No,
we don't. Never mind.
Play a different one if you want.
Sure.
Let's play the Ducks one.
There you go. Okay,
That's
so
as
there you
close as
go.
I can get.
Do we have the Islander one?
I got the Ranger one.
Great. We're having a good
I
time
got the
here.
Devils one too. You want me to play the Devils one if they score?
Sure, if you want. I don't,
Okay. All
we're
right, I
having
will. I'll do that.
as and so again, Brent Burns with the game's first goal. So not the start that you want if you're the Islanders and Ilya Sorokin.
And apparently Kat is is a magician because she saw this coming.
Barrett late, but now a turnaround shot by Engvall, and that's fought off on a good save from Freddie Anderson. Some good zone time here for the Islanders as Ryan Pulock throws it, but that gets deflected into the left corner. Pajot keeps it in. Now over, and that shot there goes into the glove and covered by Anderson here as
You got a question here, Neil, when you go second.
do I think Evgeny Malkin's number will get retired? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I don't see why not. I mean, he's had just as big of an impact for the Penguins as Sidney Crosby. I mean, he's been there pretty much the same amount of time as Sidney Crosby and has done some remarkable things in his own career. So I absolutely believe that he will. I do not have wine tonight, unfortunately. I'm keeping just to think,
Oh.
all right, well, I'll do that. You know what? I will get some in a minute. As
Oops.
I'm flipping over. I'm flipping over to my phone again. Don't judge me.
Are you been having TV problems the last week?
Yeah, this TV is dying slowly but surely. I think it's because I've done too many live watch longs the last 3 years, and I think I've burned it out. But it's okay. Still have the game on
That's
here.
funny.
About six minutes into the first, again 1-0 Hurricanes thanks to an early goal from Brent Burns. As the Hurricanes come back into the zone here, Martinook with a turnaround shot that gets blocked. Now into the left corner, Jordan Stahl behind the net now over the right side, gets it top of the point now to his defensive. Over the left side now, Brady Shea with a shot that gets deflected wide. Hurricanes still with some good pressure in the offensive zone here. Now the puck is in the left corner with both teams whacking at it. An Islander player gets knocked down. The Hurricanes might be getting a penalty here, and it looks like they will. Or maybe it's knocked down with a high stick here, not sure.
I'm pretty far behind you, not gonna lie.
Oh, you're behind me tonight. Wow.
Oh, I'm really well. I had to do it off the Apple. I don't have it on cable.
I get you. So we get a stoppage of player just a little bit over 6 minutes into this first period. 1-0 Hurricanes, thanks to a goal from Brent Burns.
And why are we dressing up for this one tonight, Neil? Just looking professional?
Because the NFL draft is on. That's why.
Yeah, we're
No,
totally not going to pay attention to that in the first intermission.
All right. So I think we have to be honest with the lovely people
1,000%
watching with us. So we do have a commercial break, so I'll just remove this for a minute. So Kyle and I also are both fans of teams in the National Football League. I'm a New York Giants fan, also Raiders fan. I can explain in detail why.
We'll do it at intermission.
It's fine. Kyle is a Seattle Seahawks fan. My brother didn't understand that when I told him because we know you don't live anywhere near the.
Doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. Right, exactly.
Well, no, the reason why was because when Toronto hosted a Bills game, Seattle was at it. I was at that game.
Oh, there you go.
So there you go.
That's a fun reason. I like that.
And I'm like, I like them.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's legit. But yes, the NFL draft is actually starting or has started, I think.
10 minutes.
In 10 minutes. We do have NFL news. Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown just reached an agreement on a 3-year, $96 million extension with $84 million guaranteed to stay in Philadelphia.
Nice.
But
cool.
When we get to intermission of our game, we are focusing on hockey. We swear we promise. We will then, whatever position they are in the draft, we're going to spend that time doing it. That's kind of what we're doing here.
And then during the game, we'll go back to the game.
Here on ESPN, they just showed a replay of the Matthew Tkachuk goal. Nice feed in front from Carter Verhaeghe, and that tap in, and that gave the Panthers a 1-0 lead. And I believe that's where they are as they're getting close to the end of the first period. But here in our game, 13:30 to go in the first, 1-0 Carolina, thanks to a goal from Brent Burns, his first goal and point of the playoffs. So again, Kyle, if you're Carolina, you got to like how you start so far.
Yeah, makes you a little nervous though for the Isles. Your season's pretty much on the line tonight, right? You gotta it's early. I get it. And, it's not a good look, too, if you're Ilya Sorokin. Like, a lot of screens in front of that. And, it feels like a puck that you have to have. Obviously, puck luck maybe had a little bit to do with it. But, yeah, you really got to be on top of your game tonight, especially if you want to beat this Canes team. It's going to be tough. But, man, it feels like the more this game goes along and the Canes have a lead, the more I feel like this could be a sweep.
Yeah, I mean, for the Hurricanes to score that early into the game and kind of quiet the crowd there, I think is important. As a drive there gets blocked in front. Islanders still with some pressure here as Sebastian Aho just flips it out of the zone, tried to get it over to Svechnikov, but out of his reach. Now Pulock will dump it in here, back into the Hurricane zone. Shots currently 4 aside here between both teams. Noah Dobson, he'll fire a soft one on Freddie Anderson, and he'll just cover here to get a face-off with 12:21 to go in the first period. And there is Rob Brindamore. The Hurricanes, in the last 3 years in the playoffs, dominant at home, 14-4. On the road, 3-10. 3-10.
Wow.
So this is something that the Hurricanes got to change if they want to make a deep run in these playoffs again. They have to start finding ways to win on the road, and it starts tonight. And again, like I said, they're off to a good start. Also, I think we just got word that the Tampa Bay Lightning have tied that game up at 1.
Oh, did they? Sorry, I just left this up because I know Toronto just had a question. I wanted to answer it just to give them the respect here. Honest question, though, why did the Isles go full prevent defense the last game once they were up 3-0? At least that's what it seemed like to me. Nerves, trying to play too conservative, trying to play too cute. Probably.
The Islanders are a defensive-minded team. That's how they play. That's how they're set up. So I think for them, being up 3-0, as Anthony Cirelli with just 17 seconds to go in the first, tied it up at 1.
Apparently, though, it's getting reviewed. It says that it's no goal.
Oh. So according to Andrew B., it is still 1-0. It was offside. So that's one of the most brutal ways to get a goal removed.
That's tough.
Offsides. Especially if it happened like 30 or 40 seconds earlier. Then you got to go all the way back and realize that goal didn't count. But,
totally.
So here come the Islanders the other way up the right side here. McLean stops, feeds it now over to his teammates. As now Riley behind the net. Mike Riley still with the puck. Backhand try. That one is stopped. Hurricanes get to it, and they can't get it out. Dobson now over to the right side to McLean. As now McLean over to Pierre Engvall. Engvall backhands it back into the Hurricane zone here, where Martin Necas loses the puck here. So some good forechecking from the Islanders right now. As now Anders Lee over to Engvall, now to Peugeot. Peugeot feeds it in front. Puck is loose, but Anderson dives on it, and we'll get a whistle with 10:32 to go in the opening period. Still 1-0 Carolina.
How much of this playoff run for Carolina hinges on the A, health of Frederik Andersen, and B, the performance of Frederik Andersen?
So if we're going percentage-wise, what we're looking for,
yeah.
I would say 60% playing-wise and 40% health-wise, because he's looked healthy, he's looked good. It's just more of he can be inconsistent at times, especially on the road.
Right.
So I think it's something where I want to see how he performs tonight and moving forward in the playoffs and kind of go from there. As a shot there, rebound try, and they don't score.
No.
I don't know how Dobson didn't score. It was an empty net on a rebound, but Freddie Anderson, flashing the leather, makes the glove save and keeps the Islanders off the board.
You had me convinced that they scored.
Well, that was a great save as Dobson back. I was ready for it. As Matt Barzal took a shot,
what a
shoulder of Anderson, and then, what a save. Now, my question is, that puck never crossed the line, I assume, even though it was a glove save.
No, I don't think so. What a
that was a big save right there from Freddie Anderson. He needed that. They needed that.
What a save. They might want to look at overhead, maybe, because I don't think it was close, but what a juicy rebound. Nothing Dobson could have done about that. That was just a great save from Anderson. No, that puck was never even close to getting it over the line.
Well, I think we got to look and say that
Sorry,
might be
Kat.
that might be one of the saves of the playoffs early on here. I mean, that was a great glove save from number
And it's
31.
not even, it wasn't even
And the
that they missed
shot
an open net.
score! And the Hurricanes have doubled the lead. And it's Dmitry Orlov. And it's 2-0 Carolina.
Oh, no. Oh, wait, I got to play the horn 1 second.
It's okay.
Man, that's such like a depressing horn to play.
It is Dmitry Orlov just catching Sorokin, leaving just a little bit of space on his stick side. And so a big-time save leads to moments later a big goal from Dmitry Orlov, and it's 2-0 Canes here in this first. And Kyle, things are going quickly from bad to worse if you're the Islanders.
But like, here's what I don't get here. You have, so when he comes in, right, you got two Isles standing there just looking at him, right? And it's like somebody needs to step up here. Oh God, Lauren, it's gonna be okay.
Our good friend, our good Boston friend Lauren is not happy with the Hurricanes winning right now.
Oh, and I think Cat's
Cat's moving over to the NFL draft.
Oh, no. But just looking at it again, like you have Palmieri here and Mike Riley here, who are just like kind of standing there and getting in the way of Sorokin a little bit too. And it's like, step in front of it, man. Like block a shot, do something.
Yeah, I mean that was not great. As now Sebastian Aho gets it top of the point over the right side, gets it now over to Gensel with a shot that gets blocked. As now Polak trying to get it out here, and it's intercepted by Gensel for a moment. But now Ryan Pulock will get it for the Islanders, and he'll come slowly up the other way. But I think they might be making a change as they are. And now that puck comes back into the Islanders zone. So I have the game on mute, full disclosure for copyright reasons. But I can imagine the Islander crowd is just as quiet as my TV right now, being down 2-0 here in this first period. So
that's a tough way to come back from getting sneakers there, Danielle. That's a tough way to come back.
That is very tough. 2 goals on 6 shots for the Hurricanes. So Ilya Sorokin right now, it's not really looking like it was much of a better decision to put him in if you're Patrick Waugh. And so now, the Islanders got to find a way to get the next goal. And it's crazy to think about what the game would be right now if Freddie Anderson didn't make that save moments prior to that Dmitry Orlov goal that made it 2-0.
We kind of saw it in the Leaf game yesterday, right? Where, and I know this was kind of a goal here, right? But it's like Bertuzzi goes in, ties it up. All the momentum's back here. You got 7 minutes left in the third. Leafs are rallying here. They had another really good chance to put it in, and all of a sudden Marchand just kills it, right? And that's the thing with momentum in the playoffs too, is just all of a sudden becomes more heightened. And it gives another perfect example here with Anderson making the save, and all of a sudden it just goes right back the other way, and it just can happen on a blink of an eye.
Yeah, absolutely. As we get a stoppage of play here, 7:21 to go in the first. Dmitry Orlov, after a great diving glove save from Freddie Anderson, moments later he cashes in, buries one, and gives the Hurricanes the comfortable right now 2-0 lead here in Long Island. So
and to interrupt, and sorry, I just want to interrupt real quick because I know he's heading off. I just wanted to remind everybody for tomorrow night, before I forget, we're actually going to have 2 streams happening tomorrow. So we have Richard from our Grit and Barrett podcast. We're doing Game 3 Capitals Rangers. That's in Washington. And Dylan will also be making an appearance doing Preds Canucks tomorrow night for Game 3 as well. Are you on that?
I am not on that tomorrow.
Okay. Anyway, Dylan will be doing that. We got 2 games going on tomorrow night.
So there you go. And speaking of the
I love this. I love this by Lord.
We put Waugh on the net. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. I would actually pay money to see that.
He's the e-bug.
Oh, for sure.
I love that.
I think he's absolutely the e-bug. Like I don't think there's any question. I did want to go back to one thing that RJ just mentioned. Alex Vlasic, defenseman, I think. I want to say defenseman.
Yep, defenseman. Yep.
Defenseman for Chicago Blackhawks, 6-year contract at $27.6 million. So that's about $4-ish million per year. Kyle, your thoughts?
Yeah, I haven't heard too much about this guy, but they clearly Kyle Davidson is praising this guy. Guy who I went to school with, by the way, not a big deal here. But yeah, I mean, it's apparently a guy that they've really liked, who wasn't really talked about enough this year. Young kid with a really good upside. Plays a good defensive game. No kidding, because he's on defense, but meaning like being a defensive defenseman, something that the Blackhawks are kind of in dire need of a little bit too. So
Yeah.
It's a good signing. I think it looks like. I mean, you lock him down long term. The only hope is that he's a young kid and there's a risk to it as well, right? You just hope it kind of works out long term. So we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. And Tron, to answer your question again, no, you're good. To answer your question again, we are doing Capitals Rangers Game 3. Again, our good buddy Richard, who covers the Capitals, minor league affiliate, but also mostly AHL as well, the Grit and Barrett podcast. He'll be on the call for tomorrow's game number 3 as the Capitals look to try to get back in that series. This year reminds me of last year's playoffs, and the Islanders can't beat the Hurricanes. Also, the Devils. Yeah, I mean, the Hurricanes are a tough team to play against.
Low call out.
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Low call out.
Yeah, they're a tough team to play against for sure. And I think this Hurricanes team is better than we saw last year. Because last year they really tried to get like top scoring guys, and they really couldn't. They couldn't get Patrick Kane. They couldn't get Timo Meier. They couldn't get a lot of guys here. As Hurricanes coming back in with Jordan Stahl and good defensive play there from Casey Zizekas. But yeah, I mean, getting Jake Gensel, you got who else did they get? I'm trying to remember here. As we have
this year, well, so they got Kuznetsov.
They got Kuznetsov, but they got him on waivers, basically.
Yes,
which was such a steal for them. I mean,
it was.
I mean, phenomenal. As we have our first penalty of the game, Dmitry Orlov, who just got the second goal for the Hurricanes, is going to the sin bin. 2 minutes for interference as he interfered with Nelson trying to get the puck in the Hurricane zone. So the Islanders, big power play here. Big power play, 6:36 to go in the first, down 2-0. They need to find a way to score on this power play here. They need to capitalize.
We don't talk about Noah Hannafin here, by the way. I don't want to talk about it.
If I'm being honest with you, I don't remember if he's playing or not.
Who, Hannafin?
Yeah, he's been playing, right?
Yeah, he's playing. You know what sucks being a Flames fan? I have to watch Hannafin take on Chris Tanev now in the playoffs. I just realized that this morning.
Yeah, that's true. Sucks. That's true. Now, the question is that series over?
Point.
At least they didn't get swept last year. That's a good point. That's a good point.
No, I don't think the series is over.
You think it's just getting started?
I think it's just getting started. Oh, yeah.
Well, the Stars gotta wake up, man. They gotta find a way to get going here. And speaking of getting going, the Islanders do as well, as they have the puck dumped back in their own zone. 1:20 to go in this power play here. Shots 12-6 in favor of the Islanders, yet down 2-0. That's like something I would not have expected. I would have expected the Islanders to have 6 shots and 2 goals. While the Hurricanes. You would think, right, with the way the Islanders are. But here we go as Riley takes a shot that gets deflected into the left corner. Matt Barzal still with it. Back hits it over to Palmieri with a shot, and that one's just wide of Freddie Anderson there in the slot. 50 seconds here as that puck looks it might have deflected up and out of play. So the faceoff remains in the Hurricane zone. 49 seconds to go in this power play. As
Dylan checking in.
What's going on, Dylan? Dylan, again, will be on for Canucks Predators tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern. So for him, only 4:30 in the afternoon, which I think is pretty good if you ask me.
That's lucky. That's bullcrap.
Oh, brother.
I wish.
Then we could definitely do 10. If we live...
I was just going to quickly say, we're totally not talking about football at intermission, by the way.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about football.
Not happening. Not
at all. No. So here we go. It's now 30 seconds to go on the Islander power play here as Palmieri now over to Horvat, just out of the reach of Brock Nelson. Now Barzal behind the net here, still with it. Nelson tried to feed it to Nelson, but that's intercepted by Teuvo Teravainen. Almost was able to get Aho on a break there, but a good stick play. Barzal now with the puck. Barzal gets around a defender here. He'll chip it over to the left side to Bo Horvat. Horvat loses the puck, and Martinook will clear it, and that'll do it for the Islander power play. No, we're not talking CFL yet.
Hey, CFL is important. All right, to the people of Saskatchewan, it's important.
Go Argos. That's all I'm going to say. Go Argos.
Let's go Rough Riders.
Go Rough Riders. My brother is a Saskatchewan Roughrider fan, so
That's awesome. They're
that's
crazy out there, man. They're insane because that's all they have.
that's all they have, which is why I think an NHL team in Saskatchewan would be hilarious.
Agreed. And the 1 year or 2 years of Connor Bedard that they had.
The 2 year, right. I'm sure he was thrilled when he finally could leave and go get drafted
He's
into
like,
the NHL.
thank God, get
He's
me
like,
out of
thank
here.
the Lord. Thank the Lord.
Also, Neil, the Bears are on the clock, by the way. Bears are officially on the clock.
We're not talking about football, Kyle.
I know we're not talking about. I'm just saying
we're not talking about football.
Saying they're on the clock.
3:49 to go in the first. Still 2-0 Hurricanes here over the New York Islanders in Game 3. So they're showing on ESPN the lovely sights of New York. None of them are on Long Island. All of them are in the city. But just thought I'd mention
You would know. You would know that.
I would know. I live only an hour away from that's so many people. That's so many people. Sorry.
That's awesome. No, that's good.
I may have flipped over to something else during commercial break. I'm not sure yet.
What was it? What did you flip over to?
I flipped over. Sorry.
Something happened in Detroit tonight.
I don't know what's happening in Detroit tonight. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about either.
I don't know. I was flipping over to baseball.
I love it. Oh, yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Yeah, don't. It's not me getting pissed off that the Yankees are getting beat up by the Oakland A's at home.
Boone getting ejected the other day from that fan.
So funny. So funny. Loved it. Also, going back to hockey, I just saw this and I wanted to ask you, are you or have you watched the new ESPN doc that came out called Saving Sakic? Did you see it?
I watched it the other day. Yeah, I watched it.
I haven't watched it yet. Is it good?
It's only
What is the premise of it? I don't get it. What is
the premise was back in the late 90s. I think it was before Sakic won a cup, or it might have been after.
So this might have been like when he was still in Quebec, right?
No. So Quebec moved to Colorado because, whatever.
In 96, yeah.
They sold it to Colorado, whatever. So I think this might have been before they won the cup in the late 90s, right?
Okay.
Maybe it was after. I think it was after they won the cup.
Yeah, it had to have been after.
After they won the cup, Sakic got an offer sheet, which was at the time very rare, from the New York Rangers, right? And the Rangers on their side knew that Sakic could, that the Avalanche front office couldn't make up $15 million in, I think it was in instant cash, like right away, like Sakic was going to earn it, right? So it was like this massive offer sheet that the Rangers offered. And basically the Avalanche had like 7 days to match that offer to retain Sakic, and they did, right? How they did it, they needed to rely on a movie that came out with Harrison Ford in it in the box office, because one of the owners was also involved with or part owner in a production company that made the movie, right, at the time. And it was like releasing out, and they were like, man, if we can get enough dollars into this, I'm just going to take some of it and like put it towards keeping Joe Sakic around.
I have to watch this now.
It's so wild. It's really, I encourage everybody to go watch it. Like, it's only 45 minutes, but it's so good. It's really good.
So yeah, again, if you have the opportunity to, definitely go check out Saving Sakic over on ESPN Plus. As that shot deflected, but it got on net. Good save from Freddie Anderson. Islanders with some good pressure here as Brock Nelson over the right side to Noah Dobson, trying to get around Gensel here, but he wraps the puck around. Brent Burns is able to dump it all the way back down, and that will be an icing here against the Hurricanes. 2:40 to go in the opening period. Still 2-0 Hurricanes here over the Islanders.
Just good point. I was just reading Danellis here. Good point here. When the Devils gave up 2 quick goals against the Canes in 2009.
Like, why do you have to, Danelle? I know why it might make you feel that way, but why did you have to bring it up? Like, that made me cry. Amazing. I was a child. I was 12. I was 12 when that happened.
It's okay.
I cried. Eric Stahl single-handedly made me cry. Him and Cam Ward pissed me off.
Oh, good old Cam. And then that's okay because they won a cup like in previous years. So don't worry.
Oh, we'll be doing my Subaru. Like, I give a crap.
Hey, I have a Subaru. Shut up.
I have a Volvo. What does that make me?
You have that's amazing.
It's 2005, Kyle. It's not that impressive.
2024.
Oh, yay. Back to hockey. As the Islanders go back in the zone. Riley with a shot that's gloved down by Anderson. Kyle, one thing I'm noticing from the Islanders is that while they do have a lot of shots, there are a lot of these like soft shots as they're coming into the zone. Like they're not carrying the puck in. They're just kind of like throwing it on net. I don't know if they're expecting a lucky bounce or something. It just doesn't
Yeah.
seem like they're being like ultra aggressive. It seems like they're focused on quantity instead of quality of shot.
It makes sense. And sometimes in particular playoff games, right, with a team, especially like the Islanders, you're producing all these shots, right? But a lot of them are coming from the point wide open for Anderson to see them. He's been seeing the puck really good tonight, especially. So, it is a lot of good shots on net, but at the same time, like it's more of this case in the Islanders for probably all season, and maybe I don't know if Kat left or not here, but she can probably attest to this. It being you're looking for more quality rather than quantity, right? And that's been their problem with their offensive struggles all year, is that they kind of relate to me a little bit in the Flames, where we produce all these shots, but it's nothing fancy and there's nothing that really kind of scares the opponent. So to your point, and actually here, because I love the name Girth Brooks, needed Aho and assistant Canes over 3 goals. So I just wanted to shout him out too.
I know. Thank you, Girth, for thanking us. We do appreciate it. And
are we at 5,000?
I don't know. You'd have to look. But while you're doing that, if you guys want to get in on the action like Girth is, make sure to sign up with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of THPN. Use our promo code THPN when you sign up. Bet $5, you get $200 instantly in free bets. Again, using promo code THPN at sign up with DraftKings Sportsbook. So
we're like right there, man.
How many are we at now?
It still says I have to look on the actual like our account site, because I didn't do it on my phone, but okay. I will let you know in like 2 seconds.
So again, we're only like 2 or 3, I think, at this point, subscribers away from 5,000. Let's get to 5,000, guys. I told you guys at the beginning of these playoffs, let's get to 5,000 by the end of it. Granted, we were at 4.97 when this playoff started, but nonetheless, continue to share with your family and friends. Get them to subscribe as well, and let's get to 5,000 subscribers here on THPN. That would be awesome. Minute 3 to go here in the first period. Hurricanes still up 2-0, but they just had a really good opportunity moments ago. Martinook missed on a wraparound chance, and there is a penalty against the Islanders. Too many men on the ice. So a big opportunity for the Hurricanes to maybe triple the lead here before the end of this period, as now they'll set up, as now Teravainen over and out of Gensel to set Jarvis in the right face-off dot, but it's intercepted by Pulak, and he'll dump it all the way back down into the Hurricane zone. 50 seconds to go in the first, minute 45 to go in the Hurricane power play, as Brent Burns now will walk the line.
Walk the line.
Thank you. I was actually waiting for you to say something. I was hoping that you got that reference here, as now Brent Burns makes his way up the ice here. Long feed over to Sebastian Aho. Feeds over the right side, and that one just out of the reach there on a good feed and a streaking set. Jarvis. Islanders trying to get the puck out right now, as now they flip it all the way back down, as now they have a short-handed opportunity. Palmieri comes in, waits, wrist shot that hits the side of the net. As now Seth Jarvis backhands to Brent Burns. 20 seconds to go in the first, maybe one last chance here, as Seth Jarvis is a little bit banged up as he's grimacing on the bench coming off that shift. Big thing to keep our eye on here as we approach the end of this first, as Brent Burns now over to the left side to Gensel. Left side now to Aho. Aho still with it now. 3 seconds. Feeds it over to the right side. That one is stopped and covered by Sorokin with 7/10 of a second to go. Big time.
We're also like 3 subscribers away. We're so close.
Continue, guys. Continue so much.
And also, he did throw this into DraftKings with Snetchikoff a point and use the 3+ leg 33% parlay boost. I wonder if you can use promo code THPN as well.
I did mention that before. I hope you did.
I missed it.
I said the whole spiel. You can ask anybody in the chat. I
totally missed it. I missed it.
I don't know how you missed it, but apparently.
I accidentally logged out and I had to log back into the channel.
Ooh, Seth Jarvis is gingerly walking to the Hurricanes bench, to the locker room, excuse me. Seth Jarvis, that could be a big loss if he does not return to this one. As
he ran into his own teammate.
I think he did behind the net there. By the way, it is now 1-1. Now it's officially 1-1.
1-1, Steven Stamkos. There you go.
Stamkos a minute in, and that will do it for the first period of our game as Kuznetsov and Pulock with some words of exchange at the end there. But the Hurricanes, thanks to goals from Brent Burns and Dmitry Orlov, both defensemen I might add, give the Hurricanes a 2-0 lead after 20. So Kyle, really quickly here, your thoughts after the first 20 minutes of action here on Long Island.
Yeah, that's not the best way to start.
No, it is not
the best way to start. Yeah, I mean, pretty unfortunate way to go for the Honors. I mean, it's not good if you're Sorokin too, right? There's still time. Like, mind you, there's lots of time here. I'm curious to see what happens with Seth Jarvis here as he went into the locker room. But, you know, if you're Patrick Waugh, man, like, you got to stir something up here in this locker room. You got to get these boys firing because you got to notify these guys again, like, hey, by the way, your season's basically on the line tonight, right? So there's got to be a way. And I mean, you mentioned it earlier. You can't keep throwing these soft shots on net on Anderson Rouse. He's just going to easily find these right away. So got to find a way to avoid that and, you know, minimize. And you got to start blocking more shots. They haven't been blocking as much, you know, as compared to some of the other teams. And it's starting to show, and it showed early on in this game.
Thank you.
And use code THPN.
And use code THPN when you sign up for DraftKings. Again, bet $5, you get $200 instantly in free bets. So make sure you do that here. And we're going to step aside for the first time tonight, and then we'll get you ready for our first intermission report. But before we do that, we'll take a few minutes and have you guys get our first word of the night from our sponsors. Welcome everybody here to our first intermission report of our game number 3 of this Eastern Conference first round between the Hurricanes and the Islanders. And after 20 minutes of play, thanks to a goal from Brent Burns and a goal from Dmitry Orlov, the Hurricanes have a 2-0 lead after 20 minutes of play. The Hurricanes actually finished the regular season with the third most, as the Lightning now have a 2-1 lead early in the second period here against the Panthers. But the Hurricanes actually had the third most goals by defensemen this season in the NHL. So they have their defensemen. They are very, very active. They've so far been very active with the first 2 goals. Freddie Anderson made a great glove save on Noah Dobson that eventually led to the second goal for the Hurricanes. But nonetheless, Kyle, I think overall, if you're the Hurricanes, everything's all systems go through 20.
Put the pedal to the metal, right? I mean, this is a team that doesn't necessarily play conservative either. Especially in these moments where you can just step on these guys' throats. The thing is, you have them right where you want them, right? So there's no reason in the world why they should be letting this team back in it. On the other side of the coin, for the Islanders, you got to find a way to start playing a little bit more defensively here, because the Canes are going to come out firing again here in the second period. So start blocking some more shots, really close down some of these lanes here on the odd man rush. Start controlling the boards here a little bit more, especially in your own zone. Just have some sort of sense of control a little bit. And again, for the Hurricanes, you got to keep it down, right? So that's the kind of thing I was alluding to there. But again, and on the other side of the coin with the Islanders, it's just making sure that when you get chances in the offensive zone, it's got to be a quick 1-2, try to, get something in front of Anderson. He's been seeing the puck really well tonight. He's had a lot of open lanes to look at it. Got to find a big boy like Pierre Engvall to stand in front of the net, man, and just start, finding some different ways to make life difficult for Freddie Anderson.
Without question, I did want to answer this one thing that Danelle brought up earlier. Sure. Did you see that the Coyotes got off the plane and landed in Utah yesterday, greeting by fans? And also at the arena, lots of hockey fans wearing different jerseys from around the NHL. Yeah, I saw that there were a bunch of school kids that I guess they just got off school or just didn't go to, I don't know. It was interesting. And they were all at the airport waiting for the players to come. I think it was great. I give Utah a lot. I give the Utah fans a lot of credit. They've come out, they're excited, they're looking forward to the opportunity, to have a team in the NHL and to see what it can do. I'm really just interested. I'm really interested to see how all things go down in Utah. I mean, Kyle, your first thoughts of what you saw from the Utah fans yesterday.
I think it's going to work really well there. I like the size of the stadium that they have. I think they shouldn't have a problem filling that arena. They showed, I saw on Connor Ingram's feed the other day on Twitter that he finally moved in, right? And he's taking it all in, the sights, everything. And he did this fantastic 360 of or whatever it was of the city. And yeah, it's crazy how it's you got all these mountains in the background, and it's pretty bare a little bit because it's just a bunch of low-rise buildings a little bit. But I think this could work. I would not be surprised if this is a team that you're going to see in this league for a long time. I think this is something that Utah's been begging for, and I think it's going to work really well. So you kind of saw the support, when they just came out the other night, and this is support for an Arizona Coyotes team. Right? Can you imagine if they had the likes of one of these superstars in the NHL be on that team alone? Right? I mean, you kind of already have that in Clayton Keller and Dylan Guenther, who, by the way, I think is going to be sensational next season. It wouldn't surprise me if this team makes the playoffs next year. It wouldn't surprise. It depends on the offseason. I think the offseason needs to go well. They need goaltending. They still need some pieces defensively because I like their offensive strides a little bit. I like Guenther taking that next step. I like Clayton Keller. I like some of those pieces that they have offensively. So mind you, they need to go in this offseason, draft well again, see what they need to do defensively, and maybe fix up the goaltending a little bit. But if they can do some of those things, I feel like it wouldn't surprise me if they make the playoffs next year.
Yeah, that would be. I feel like for Coyotes fans, it would be hard for for them to like see their team. It was like, remember when Quebec, the year after they lost their team, the
Yeah.
the Avalanche go and win the Stanley Cup that year. I mean, like that's hard. That's certainly very, very hard. But it's a team that if they can make a couple of good moves, build around the team that they have, I think it could work out really well. Also, I want to quickly shout out our good buddy Stoffel, who is in the chat. I remember Stoffel from last year, being a big
Nice.
Hurricanes guy. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We do appreciate it. We hope you are doing well. So I think the bottom line is that we got to wait and see. I'm really
Yes.
excited. I really hope, for funny reasons, that it's Utah Hockey Club. It's what I'm
Can you
hoping for.
imagine? Oh my God.
Well, we had the Washington football team. Anything's possible.
It's true. I'm surprised they named it that.
Well, that's for that. That was like, well, because we didn't have enough time to like. Well, it's like I don't want to hear it.
Sure, you didn't.
But I'm hoping like Utah Mammoth would be cool. I think Yetis would be sick, in my opinion.
I like the Yetis. I also
Yetis is
like
good.
Mammoth.
Oh, thank
I
you,
think
Kyle.
Mammoth looks sick.
So yeah, and here's our question that we have for you guys. What will the new Utah NHL team name be? Leave us in the comments section and we'll see. You know what I think we should do? I think we should star whatever name and see what the masses agree with here. As I think Danelle brought this up. Neil Collins, the Oilers didn't beat the Hurricanes last year, and I don't see them beating them this time in the Devils. I know they lost. No, I'm fully aware of this. Do you guys think the Rangers can beat the Hurricanes? Well, the Rangers have had the Hurricanes number for a while in the playoffs, so I think that they certainly can. I don't think there's any questions.
Totally.
So that's the way I say. Oh God, Charles,
I've got to bring it up. I'm sorry.
What? The Salt Lickers. Well, that's not a name that's available. I mean, well, it is, but that's a choice. Buzz or Bees. What about Utah Hive? Just Hive.
Ooh.
Hive.
Ooh, I like that. That's nice.
I thought Gladiators,
how about
what about Gladiators? Maybe the Gladiators.
Oh, and Charles agrees.
Charles is like, no.
I don't mind the Mammoth because they're already making that work in the National Lacrosse League.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, the Aviators. Well, I think Aviators.
No, who's the Mammoth in the NLL?
Oh, that's
Colorado?
Colorado. Yeah, that's ironic.
Yeah, that's right. So it kind of makes sense a little bit. I don't get the Venom. I don't get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, for sure. Also, what's up, Spinning Mantis? Thank you for hanging out with us. I just noticed
thank you.
Chat, my friend. So Mastodons, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's based off of like mammoths, but yeah, I mean that works. That works.
The cult. Oof.
No.
No.
I ain't trying to get in trouble.
Can
anybody just go with the names that we said before, or are we just like, or are people just making stuff up now?
We'll just let them make it up. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, why not? Right, exactly.
Reinhart ties it now for the Panthers.
There you go, Sam Reinhart. Stoffel asked, the real question is, will the New York Rangers beat the Hurricanes?
So are both series over if they both win their game threes here?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think for the Rangers, there's no way the Capitals come back and win 4 games down 2-0. I said it before, and I'll say it again because I was the sucker that had the Capitals in 7. Okay,
so was I.
Did too. Right.
Yeah.
I only said it on the stipulation that if they won a game in New York in games 1 or game 2, if they go down 2-0, no shot. They come back. Right.
For sure.
You go, but like that's the thing. Like you go back to Washington, you're tied at 1. Like you make it a series, man. So. Yep. Anyway, back to football. I mean, hockey.
He just said
it's fine.
Yeah, no. So, well, here's the backstory for everybody. So last year, Kyle and I forgot what game it was. I think it might have been like game.
I think it was a Devils game.
It was Devils Rangers. I think it was game 2.
I think so.
And it was such a blowout. Like it was like There was no chance that we flipped over for fun. We flipped over and started mentioning who was getting drafted in the NFL draft. So during this intermission, which we do have some time, I have flipped over for a bit to check out the NFL draft. We are on to pick number 3. The Chicago Bears took, unsurprisingly, Caleb Williams out of USC, quarterback, with the first pick. Jaden Daniels, quarterback out of LSU, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, went 2 to the Commanders. And now the pick is in for the Patriots, number 3. So it looks like there's no trade.
Oh, they're going to take
I think this is Drake May. And if it's not, I don't know what it would be.
They're taking
I'm
Drake
really
May.
scared. I would. It is Drake May. So the Patriots are taking the North Carolina quarterback, Drake May, who is really tall. He's actually a lot taller than I thought he was. But
nice.
He is going. So the top 3 quarterbacks are off the board. So now
it gets interesting now.
Now it gets interesting. Now we see who's going at 4. It's not going to be a quarterback unless it's a trade, which it could be. But
I feel like there's a lot of talk here, just going back to hockey for a second. I feel like there's a lot of talk here going on with Canes and Rangers. If that happens, if that happens to be the second round series here,
which by the way, full disclosure, the winners of the Rangers Capitals and Islanders Hurricanes, they will face off in the second round. So that is a guarantee that will happen, regardless. Like that's
correct. Feels like that we need to do that if that's the case, because there's a lot of going back and forth here with Rangers Canes here. So, and mind you, that would be a phenomenal series, by the way, which I kind of agree here with Mantis. Like, I think it goes 7. It wouldn't shock me if it goes. I think it goes distance. I think it goes at least at the bare minimum 6.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that's where Canes have shaky goaltending. That's kind of the thing. It's like if Freddie Anderson is playing like what we saw in that first period, like throughout, then I think the Hurricanes do have the advantage because I think they have a deeper team, both offensively and defensively. However, if Freddie Anderson's having a couple of rough games here or there, I think the Rangers are going to win that series. But again, they got to get there. Obviously, both teams got to get there, and they still have work to do. Second period of our game, Hurricanes Islanders is about to get underway. So, Kyle, my question to you is kind of, what are you looking for from both teams going into this second period, starting with the Islanders?
Yeah, for the Islanders, you got to find a way to play that slow game that worked so well for them for so many years, right? Especially when they made that Eastern Conference final once upon a time, a couple of years ago. But I think, honestly, they just need to slow it down. They need to really control possession of the puck here. I think control of the puck here in the second is going to be key. Winning, especially in the stats where you look at winning in the offensive zone, winning those puck battles along the board, out hitting the Hurricanes here. They just need to get back to basics here and win the basic battles, right? You start winning those, you're going to start creating more chances there in the offensive zone. And again, I know it's kind of silly because you're down 2-0, but at the same time, you need to start blocking shots here, which they weren't doing really in the first period. And it kind of showed here in those 2 goals. You need to start blocking shots. You need to start taking your man a little bit. You need to start pressuring the Hurricanes, specifically when they come into your offensive zone and they're setting themselves up pretty easy. You need to put a lot more pressure on them. Don't give them enough time here to try to set up here. And on the other side of the coin for the Hurricanes, it's probably the exact opposite, right? It's being speedy. They're a fast team. They're an efficient team, right? So it's again, just winning off the rushes, going in, any turnovers, they're taking advantage of it. We saw that on the second goal where they really took advantage of the turnover battles and speeding it out the other way and winning those odd man rushes and, make something out of nothing. So for the Hurricanes, I think it's pretty simple with that. And just don't fix winning broke.
Absolutely. So we'll see what the Hurricanes do here on the little bit of power play they have left to start this period as the Islanders will flip it out. One thing I'm going to keep my eye on as well, Kyle, as we mentioned, Seth Jarvis definitely was banged up at the end of that first period, actually ended up going to the bench, going to the locker room before that period ended. And he's actually on the ice to start this period. So it looks like he's okay, or at least he's just good enough to play as we continue on here. 10 seconds to go on the Hurricanes power play. This puck will go down. all the way down back to where Freddie Andersen will play it. So the power play is up for Carolina. So both teams unsuccessful in their first try on their power plays, still 2-0 here. Good hit from Cizikas there on a Hurricanes player. Maybe, hopefully, that'll get him going a little bit here. As I think it's fair to say, Kyle, as Dylan is actually telling us.
God damn it, I was just typing it too.
Oh, you're about to type it?
Man, I was typing it.
So we are 2 subscribers away from 5,000. So again, guys, continue
typing it.
Continue to like this stream, and also share with your family and friends. Get them to subscribe as well, so we can get to 5,000 by the end of tonight. You got a lot of time, but I want us to get to 5,000 by the end of the night. So let's.
Thanks, Dylan. Way to steal my thunder, Dylan. Appreciate it.
Anyway, back on the ranch as Hurricanes coming into the zone here on the left corner side, throws it over, but that flip goes easily to Sorokin, and he'll make the glove save. Face off here with 18:07 to go in the second period here. Still 2-0 Hurricanes. So
Cardinals pick is in. Just letting you know.
Well, that's something else.
Sorry.
Okay,
It's fine.
Sorry. We're having fun. Kyle and I like to multitask.
Yeah, it's okay to do that. There's nothing wrong with
number 3. That was Pelech slashed him before he collided with Aho. Oh, okay. So you were talking about the collision, but I think it was a slash. As Brady Shea's stick just disintegrated on a slap shot there. Puck never got to the net. So the Islanders look to come the other way, but it's taken back here by Kotkaniemi, and now the Hurricanes will slow it up. Kyle, I think we've talked about this before, but do you think that the Hurricanes look like the Red Army team with their uniforms?
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
100%.
I agree. As we get a stoppage of play here, 17:39. Go ahead, Kyle.
What?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, no, it's not hockey related. I'll keep it between us.
You want to just say it? You can. It'll take 2 seconds.
Marvin Harrison, number 4.
Marvin Harrison Jr. went to the Arizona Cardinals at number 4. So, again, still nothing surprising here in the NFL draft, but in the NHL, there's always surprises.
Oh, thanks, Stoffel. Appreciate it. So sweet.
Thank you, Stoffel. We really do appreciate the support, man. We really do, and we look forward to interacting with you. And
we're 1 away now, folks. 1 away.
We are 1 away, as now a puck is loose in the crease, but the Hurricanes get to it here, and they'll get it out of the zone. Dylan says we're at 4,999. I feel like Dylan's now behind the scenes now, just getting it done. As now
he's just screwing with me at this point now.
He is. Now feeder from their shot, and they score! It's Pierre ball in front, and the Islanders have gotten one back. It's now 2-1.
What did I say? What did I say during the break? Stick Pierre Engvall in front, keep a big body in front, make life difficult for Freddie Andersen. Voila.
And Pierre Engvall was all alone in front there, getting bodies in front, and Freddie Andersen just couldn't react in time. Great feed from the captain, Anders Lee, and Engvall goes 5-hole through the legs of Freddie Andersen, and the Islanders are back in it.
Did we hit 5,000 as well?
I don't.
Did we do it? I'm going to tell you.
What does that mean?
Unless Dylan tells everybody first, then,
Fingers crossed, but big goal there from Pierre Engvall, who gets the Islanders on the board here less than 3 minutes into the second period here. That was a big one. Pierre Engvall's second career playoff goal. He had 10 during the regular season as we get an icing here against the Hurricanes, but that was a big one.
Am I a magician or what? Again, I'm telling you, stay in front of that, get those garbage goals, get those rebound goals, and Engvall's right there to sweep it up.
You called it. You called it. Really nice pass again by Anders Lee, making that pass between a couple of Hurricanes defenders there. Really, really good feed. And Engvall again. I think what you saw there was a classic over pursuit. I think that's what you saw. Is anyone else ESPN feed behind this one? I'm watching this game on ESPN on my television, so
I'm pretty behind.
Yeah, I don't know.
I am very behind.
The last couple of games that Kyle and I have done, he's actually been ahead of me, so he's been able to tell me ahead of time, oh, you might want to watch.
It's because I can finally watch these games on cable.
That's true.
The season, I can't watch a Devils game on cable.
No, of course.
Just
That's understandable.
Just saying. I can't even watch a Flames game sometimes on cable. Stupid restrictions.
That is actually pretty brutal, if you ask me.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
So it took until the 16th shot for the Islanders to finally get one. Florida has tied it up at 2. It's the Lightning here with 6:56 to go in the second. Should have just mentioned that. We are 1 sub away, according to Kyle.
1 away. Still 1 away, I think.
Still 1 away. As a shot there from Nelson is gloved and covered by Anderson, and Cal Clutterbuck is taking on the entire Hurricanes players on the ice, while pushing and shoving, but it looks like cooler heads have prevailed.
I appreciate RJ too. Just telling everybody to hit the sub button. Don't forget to like if you get the chance as well too. And again, we're 1 away from 5,000.
We are certainly away. So continue, guys. We are so close. Somebody, please, somebody get to it. Somebody.
I'll chug the rest of my beer if somebody hits 5,000.
I'll chug the rest of my wine.
No.
Okay, maybe not.
That's not the best idea in the world. I mean,
I could say I could chug the rest of my seltzer, but that's hard. Like, that's really hard. I mean, it's hard though.
I can do that. It's not a big deal. Listen, I'm not in my
so little left.
I'm not in my university days anymore.
I was never in my university days, so I can't speak on that.
Fair enough. Sorry, Neil. Well, university, college, different things.
Face off to the left of Anderson in the Hurricane zone here again. 6:16 to go in the second. Pierre Engvall, just moments ago, got the Islanders on the board. So they are now only trailing here 2-1. And again, that was a big goal that was very much needed. And now we'll see if the Hurricanes can have a response here, as now Svechnikov just out of the reach of Aho, and he blows a tire. So now the Islanders are able to get to it, and they'll just lightly dump it back into the Hurricane zone here. Is now Chatfield. Chatfield backhands it over to his teammate as he gets over to Dmitry Orlov. Orlov over the right side. Stoffel apparently is giving us maybe our 5,000th. And Dylan, I think, is confirming. I think we just confirmed it. I think we may have just gotten it.
I confirm it for everybody.
So there you go.
Can I confirm it for everybody here?
We have a
stop and play here. Let me just make sure we let me just take out. Give me a second, folks, here, and make sure we show everybody here. And there we go. All right. Yay!
Well, there we go. We did it. We have reached 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Thank you so much, personally, to Stoffel's girlfriend. Thank you so much for being the 5,000th subscriber, and thank you all so much for continuing to show your support and really just loving what we do. We really do appreciate it, and I would say cheers to the next 5,000 subscribers. So thank you so much to everybody. We really, really do appreciate all the support, guys. Thank you.
And I think it can't stress enough how excited, especially on my end, for this summer, for next season. We're going to put in a lot of work this off season to make sure that we can even double it by next year. Who knows? But we're going to put in a lot of work. And I mean, hey, this is just the start of the playoffs. We'll see how many more we can get. But just wanted to give a quick shout out here to Dylan, as he's obviously worked really hard on this too, and you'll get it for myself too throughout the whole summer. So, and I got to thank Neil as well too. You've been really great with this, and hopefully we can get more done here. So let's go.
Well, thank you so much, and again, thank you to everybody else as well. As now let's get back to the action here and begin the rest of this game. Is 5,000 subscriber channel. As puck now back into the offensive zone for Carolina here. 14:28 to go in this second period. Pierre Engvall again with the only goal for the Islanders, and the only goal this period so far. So now the Islanders look to try to come back the other way here, and that one's intercepted. And now the Hurricanes will slow it up here on the right side. Get to now up the boards here. Now the Hurricanes try to get in, but it's settled here for a moment. An almost disaster there. Thank you, Girth. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's get some likes as well to celebrate the reaching of 5,000 subscribers. As a try from Tony D'Angelo, that's stopped, and the rebound try just goes wide from Natchez there, as D'Angelo tried to bomb one there. block shots 10-5 in favor of the Islanders. So that's probably why the shots on goal is a little bit low. Is that the Islanders have done a good job of blocking a lot of shots. Not enough to keep the Hurricanes off the scoreboard so far, but they've certainly blocked a ton. As now Noah Dobson chips off the board. Bellows, now to Brock Nelson. Islanders come in as now Matt Martin throws it on just wide of Anderson. And now the Hurricanes will settle here. Chatfield makes a pee up the left side now. Hurricanes come into the offensive zone, wrap it around the boards. Nason just out of his reach. And now Matt Martin dumps it back into the right corner here where the Islanders look to chip it out. They're having a little bit of trouble. It's intercepted. That shot from Nason just goes wide of the right side of Sorokin. Puck comes back out to center ice where now the Hurricanes come right back in. Chatfield now just missed that pass there to Drury. And that puck goes all the way back down in the Hurricane zone. And both teams make a change with 12:50 to go in the second period here. Left side now. Scott, a big score! Ooh. Sebastian Aho rifles one past Sorokin, and the Hurricanes have retaken the 2-goal lead. It's 3-1 Carolina.
I love that goal horn.
That goal horn feeds families. Yeah. And just a really wicked shot using Cal Clutterbuck as somewhat of a screen there. And Sorokin just couldn't see it. So went far side. Actually, I think Sorokin got a piece, but it redirected into the net. And so Sebastian Aho with the goal. And the Hurricanes with a good response as they're back up by 2.
Just making a post. There we go. Sorry, I'm just celebrating.
And we are getting a goaltending change. Semyon Varlamov is coming in for the Islanders. Sorokin's night is done.
Sorokin's done. And that's a tough one to give up too.
He played just 27 minutes of hockey. So what's going on, Angus? You just missed us reaching 5,000 subscribers, but we thank you as always. We appreciate
Thank you, Angus.
Thank you. Your support is tremendous. And Kyle, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think looking back now it was a mistake to have Varlamov not start here in game 3?
No, I think you needed a change, right? And you needed to spark something. So I don't necessarily blame it. I don't even think it's been bad goaltending. And I mean, okay, maybe on Sorokin's part tonight, that's a little bit of a story. You probably should have that on your third goal there, but that's the problem a little bit too, right? When you look at a team like Nashville and you look at a team like the Rangers maybe or whoever, when you have a bona fide number 1 starting goaltender, there is no debate. You are going through with that guy. He's getting his rest during the end of the year. Obviously still trying to push for the playoffs, but he's making sure you're getting this guy's rest for the playoffs, right? And you know who your starter is for these first couple of games. For the Islanders, and you can make the same case for Boston too, recently, you're jockeying back and forth like who's taking the net, who's got the hot hand here. And, Varlamov didn't help much there in game 2, and clearly Sorokin's not helping here in game 3. So now all of a sudden you're confused as to what do you do now for game 4, regardless of this outcome. Right.
And right now, I mean, for the Islanders, you get that goal early in this period. You get it going. Thank you, Angus, for the shout out. We do appreciate it.
Neil.
I know, I'm aware.
Uh-oh.
By the way, Joe Alt, offensive tackle from Notre Dame, went 5 to the Los Angeles Chargers. So now we'll see what happens with the Giants at 6. As I'm sure a lot of New York fans, maybe a lot of Islander fans who are in the chat, maybe they have flipped over to that at this point. Varlamov came way out of the net. Nearly. That was a disaster there. Puck now back in the Hurricane zone. 10:55 to go in this second period. Hurricanes just got the 2-goal lead back thanks to a goal from Sebastian Aho, who continues to be a pain, as Brandon Montour, who I was talking to you about earlier today, he gets a late goal for the Panthers. So now the Panthers are back up in front. They're up 3-2 late in that second period. As now the Hurricanes
also, I kind of made a promise when we hit 5K. So this is to you. I don't know if you got your wine there. I mean, but cheers. This is to the next 5,000. And I don't know. Hopefully the Oilers don't win the Stanley Cup from Flames.
There you go.
So, there you go.
I
I
finished
was like,
mine.
this isn't happening. This isn't happening.
As we get a commercial break here, just
Here,
about
let me do it
halfway
on
through.
screen. Hold on.
There you go. Just about halfway through the second period, Hurricanes back up by 2. They lead it 3-1 here in Game 3 over the New York Islanders.
I don't know how people do this.
I don't know how people do it either, Kyle. I really don't. Give Kyle a minute. But again, we have some time here. I just again want to say thank you so much to everybody for all the support you've given us over the last couple of years in supporting us, doing these live watch-alongs and everything that we do here at THPN. We appreciate all 5,000 of you. You guys do a great job of supporting us and leaving likes and subscribing and sharing it with your family and friends. Kyle's down bad right now. Give him a minute.
My liver can thank you guys too.
Your liver is down bad. But again, thank you all so much. And we're excited to continue here. Like Kyle said, that's, we got 5,000 more to go. That's fine. Cool. Move on with my life. I'm relieved now. Let's keep going. Woo.
Yay.
So, my thoughts. Should I give my quick thoughts about that?
Sure. Yeah, why not? Why not?
So,
yeah, it's your team, man.
New York Giants taking Malik Neighbors, wide receiver at LSU. Yeah, that to me was not a surprise. It seemed like a done deal for the last 2 weeks that it was going to be Neighbors. Now, do not be surprised if the Giants either trade back in the first or in the second, because they have an early pick in the second round, take a quarterback then. Don't be surprised. So that's where we are. So again, I think so far in the NFL draft, no surprises, I think, would be fair.
Oh, can you let me know when the Seahawks pick at 16? That'd be great. Thank you.
That would be great. As who is Blake Bolden?
Who?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know either.
She's the on ice. She's the on ice reporter for tonight's game between the Hurricanes and Islanders for ESPN. Never seen her before. She must be new. I'm gonna look her up. Blake Bolden. I should know who she is. She plays hockey, you dingus.
So Girth asking here, everybody covering Avs Jets tomorrow? No, but I think we'll try and do Avs Jets again at some point. Once we do like game. We did game 1 of Avs Jets early on.
7-6.
7-6.
The 7-6 catastrophe that was going to
go back. If you want to go back and look at that, tomorrow night's schedule will consist of 2 live streams. We got 7:00 tomorrow between the Rangers and the Capitals. It'll be our good buddy Richard from Grit and Barrett who will be doing that one. Dylan, who was commenting earlier in the chats, for those of you who missed it, maybe I can bring up his nice little username from earlier on here. I don't know where it went, but anyway. So Dylan will be covering Predators Canucks Game 3 tomorrow. That'll be on at 7:30 Eastern. And then I'm actually not going to be here till about Monday. I don't know about yourself, Neil, but
it'll pretty much be the same for me as Martin Nook tries to make a feed that gets blocked. But yeah, this will be my last one for the week.
We've been
I've done 3 this week. I'm a little bit tired.
We've been hammering it a little bit. We're going to take a couple of days and take a break, but it's okay because we still got a lot of streams going on the weekend. We got Canes Islanders Game 4 for you guys on Saturday with a lot of our Canes guys doing that one. And then Sunday, Jimmy will be right back at it at 8:00 for the Rangers and Capitals Game 4. But Girth will make sure to do Avs Jets, assuming that series goes the length. We'll try to do another one for you. And maybe that'll be our one late game if they go to Game 6 or Game 7. We'll try and see.
Sure. And again, we'll continue to be very active throughout the entirety of the Stanley Cup playoffs, not just the first round, but once we're in the second round, conference finals, Stanley Cup finals, of course. And Jesus Christ, Charles, with the Utah Salt Lickers.
I love it.
That would be wild. But we also are going to be doing the NHL draft lottery, as well as the draft. We're going to be doing a lot. So do not fret, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I want to let everybody know that last year we had 20,000 people come across our channel for that draft lottery. So make sure to get notified here. Make sure to subscribe because we will be live for the draft lottery. And you bet your Calgary Flames will be picking number 1 overall from Ackland Celebrity. Yeah, that's right. I said it.
The Blackhawks are going to get number 1. Let's just call it. Who are we kidding, right? Who are we kidding?
What are you talking about?
He's going to salvage a player back.
Imagine
7 minutes to go here in this second period. 3-1 Hurricanes here in Game 3 of this Eastern Conference first round over the New York Islanders. I think it's fair to say, Kyle, that the Islanders desperately have to get the next goal. They just cannot allow another goal at this point.
They need it here in this second period, man. I mean, it's just the puck possession has been all Hurricanes right now in this second period. And, it's just, again, it's just quick plays that they've had. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily pull Sorokin right away. If things get ugly here, then, maybe we're talking a different conversation here. But, it's tough to watch if you're an Isles fan right now. I can understand why Kat kind of left us earlier on to go watch the draft.
Kat's like, I'm done. Kat's done.
That's it. It's over. And I think she had obviously she's a huge Islanders fan, but she had the Islanders in what, 6, 7?
I think so, 6 or 7, something like that.
Okay. That's funny.
Someone just texted me and said the Giants didn't draft, what they say? Mac Jones 2.0. Let's go. So there you
know what? It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
I don't think I've ever seen Giants fans be so happy to draft a wide receiver.
Yay.
Even when they drafted Odell Beckham, it wasn't like people were like, oh my God, this is great. Because nobody knew. They knew of him, but didn't know of him that well. Just ran it. Oh no, Charles is out of the alcoholic beverage.
Yep, so am I.
Well, I'm not filling this up anymore. I'm done.
That's an intermission problem. Oh, good job.
That's an intermission problem. Okay.
Oh man.
But so far, I mean, in this game, it just again the Hurricanes are just doing a great job of just sucking the life out of the Islanders. Every time the Islanders look like they're doing something, bam, Hurricanes come back and punch them in the mouth. So again, Islanders get a goal early in this second period. It's 2-1. You're thinking they have the momentum, and then wham! A couple minutes later, Aho scores a goal, knocks out Ilya Sorokin. I guess my question to you, Kyle, is this about Sorokin. Do you think Islander fans have second thoughts now about that long-term contract they signed him to after the year that he's had, how much he struggled tonight? Or do you think that's more of a too early an overreaction?
It's a bit of an overreaction because goaltending's tough to find in this league. And Sorokin showed his brilliance last year, especially too, right? When I think he was a candidate for the Vezina, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you can have it happens all the time this season in the playoffs. You can have a bad game. It happens, right? So I think it's a bit of an overreaction. I still think it's great they signed him long-term because tough goaltending is hard to find in this league. And, you've got a guy in Sorokin still. You're not going to have much longer for Varlamov. So the fact that you still have Sorokin there as a guy who's basically going to be your starter once Varlamov is retiring at some point, I would imagine, it's a good thing to have. So I think it's a bit of an overreaction, but it doesn't help that he's not playing well, especially in a big game like this.
Without question. And again, there's just a lot of you just hope that this is not the Ilya Sorokin that we're going to get used to seeing moving forward. I think that's what you're hoping for. And, look, Igor Shesterkin kind of proved it earlier this year that he had a really tough start to this season, really struggled. Jonathan Quick was the man. It's a big reason why the Rangers won the President's Trophy, if we're being honest. But down the stretch here, he stepped it up. In the playoffs so far, he's looked pretty good. I mean, so you can turn it around. It's just unfortunate that tonight Sorokin just didn't really have it, and that's unfortunate for him.
It is. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's just sometimes the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles for sure here as we have about 5:50 to go in the second period. 3-1 is our score here for the Hurricanes over the Islanders right now. And again, really got to see here if the Islanders are going to have a response as Dobson tries to dump it into the zone, but it's taken away for a moment. Now they'll have to go back and reset here over the left side now to Romanov. Romanov on the left side now coming up the center of the ice here is JP Pajot. As Pajot one-hops it on a good save there by Anderson. And, I think Freddie Anderson, after giving up that goal, he's made a couple of really solid saves, kind of keeping the Islanders at bay.
It's going to be very interesting if the Hurricanes hold on here for Game 3, it's pretty much a wrap at this point.
Of course.
because I just can't see it. I just can't see them coming back. So, and then you'll see what happens with Game 3 on Saturday tomorrow night with the Rangers and Capitals. But these two teams, like when they collide, and that's just what I'm guessing, right? When they collide in the second round, these guys haven't been tested yet, and they will be when they go off against each other. Right. Like, and I think, and I mean, hey, like, it's still the playoffs. You still have to show out here in the first round. They do, but they are going to be tested against each other. And that's why I think a lot of people have that series going 7 games.
For sure. For sure. Let me ask you this kind of a funny question. Do you think that Maple Leaf fans wish they still had Freddie Anderson right now?
I have to tell you something about that. So, not necessarily Freddie Anderson. I don't think so, because I think it was time. They needed to move on. They found somebody, maybe in Jack Campbell. Didn't really work out. We know where he's at now. Mm-hmm. Did you know that Jeremy Swayman, when he was drafted, he was at number 112, okay? And he went to Boston. In whenever year he was drafted. If somebody wants to comment when he was drafted, please let me know.
So that was like fourth round?
Something like that,
yeah.
So he was drafted, right, to the Boston Bruins at 112. The Leafs were at 111, okay? The Leafs and Swayman said it too. He said, I don't know if it was on a podcast or if it was an interview, but he said where he was like, I had a really great conversation with the Leafs, and in my eyes, it sounded like it was done. Like, it felt like I was going to go at that spot. And the Leafs went with a different goaltender. And right. One pick later, Swayman goes to Boston. And here are the results.
And here we
are. Boston screwing over the Leafs again when it comes to goaltending. So, but to answer your question, I don't think they necessarily regret it because it just felt like it was time to move on. He just had injury problems. He was on the bench during that playoff series against the Montreal Canadiens when they had Jack Campbell in net, who, by the way, was having a decent season in Toronto already at the time, unlike what he's having right now. So, I don't think they really regret it. They just had to move on from it. He's still playing well, don't get me wrong, but I think he was just asking for too much money that the Leafs just weren't willing to pay because they're paying other core for.
Right. Yeah, no, I think it's just kind of a curious thing to kind of look at, especially when you look at where Freddie Anderson, was last year playing with the Hurricanes, and you look at the success he's had early on so far in these playoffs. I was just kind of curious to know if that's kind of the way that, maybe look at. Islanders are not getting any D-man zone time against the Hurricanes in their own zone.
Damn zone time. Damn zone time.
Oh, damn zone time. Yeah, sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Hurricanes are one of those teams that do just such a good job of playing their system to a T. Like their system works really well with what they have, and that's what you're seeing tonight. And it's one of those examples. And again, I don't mean to be this harsh to the Islanders, but their lack of goal scoring is killing them against a team that is way more balanced and can beat you in a multitude of different ways.
And for sure. Yeah, and that's the scary thing too. And I think the pickup of the deadline, we're all going to look back on it. And I think Jake Gensel was probably the steal, maybe outside of Thomas Hertl if he turns things around here for Vegas. I mean, early on, they're already up 2-0 in that series. You asked me it earlier about that series. Do you think it's over? Do you think the Stars come back?
Yeah, I do actually. I think Vegas is too much in Dallas's head. I think it's just this may sound ridiculous, but I feel like that they're playing intimidated. I think they're looking
so
at
too.
I
think so too. I think it's tough.
Mark Stone of all people, scoring the first goal of the series. What?
That
90 seconds in? It was like right away you could tell the vibe was like, oh no, here we go again. You know what I mean?
If it was anyone else, fine. But it was just the fact it was him. And I bet you the players on the bench too were thinking, what the hell? Like, what is this?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'd like to think it's not over, but Vegas is a tough barn to win.
It's hard not to think that way. Yeah. And then in this series we're covering tonight, I mean, it is very fair to say that if the Hurricanes do get it done tonight and hold on, that this series is pretty much over.
It's funny. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think you were hoping that Sorokin could come in tonight, give him a boost, go from there. but he just didn't have it. And you can look at him on the bench, and you can just see the dejection. He looks dejected. He looks like so out of it. Like goal scorers per distance here tonight, Kyle. Brent Burns, 52 feet out. Dmitry Orlov, 46. And then you have Sebastiano, 32. Like that's not good that it was that all three of these goals were far away that Sorokin couldn't stop.
Outside of Sorokin, because we talked about the goaltenders a lot tonight, you know who hasn't showed up? Who got paid by the Islanders?
Bo Horvat. Yeah.
Bo Horvat.
Non-existent.
Right? No. So the Canucks were right in giving him away because he has basically done nothing in this series. Let's be honest here. And I think Kat can probably attest to that too as well, right? Like he has virtually done nothing. He got his money for 8 years, and he's basically the Pierre-Luc Dubois of the New York Islanders.
He's the Mitch Marner. No, I'm calling it like this. Rebound try, they score! Brock Nelson on a rebound, and the Islanders are back within one. It's 3-2.
Maybe the Islanders heard me say that. That's not good.
That's a big-time goal from Brock Nelson with 2:21 to go in the second period. And once again, the Islanders trail by 1. So again, Kyle, right back in this game. Sure. So again, one of those situations, Aho actually blocked the shot and then went right
Brock
to Brock Nelson, who tapped it in.
They played the Hurricanes graphic, though, on ESPN.
Yeah, I know. I saw them screw that up. I was like, well, that's not good. 26th career playoff goal for Brock Nelson, his first goal of the series, and the Islanders are back once again within 1 with just over 2 minutes to go in the second period. Opportunity for McLean, but he gets knocked down. Islander fans want a penalty. The refs say play on, as Stefan Nason will dump it back into the Islander bench. And that shot off the boards is stopped by Varlamov, as now the energy's picked up a bit from both teams here, as now Riley being hounded right now, and we're going to get a penalty, Kyle. It's going to be Drury going to the box, I believe. It's going here, 1:40 and ticking to go. Islanders with the puck, as they'll look to try to not really kill some clock, but maybe get an extra skater here. As McLean waits, feeds it over, shot, and that one just goes wide of Anderson. Riley keeps it in for the Islanders, over to the right side of Horvat. Horvat still with the puck. Horvat getting around a defender, but he loses it, and it's finally touched up by the Hurricanes. And it's going to be Drury to the box with 1:23 to go in the second. And the Islanders with a big chance here to potentially tie it at 3 before the end of the second period.
That's a big goal, too. 2 minutes before the end of the period, right? Like it changes things when you're down 3-1 compared to 3-2. No kidding, right? Obviously, you don't want to sound stupid here, but like it makes a difference rather than scoring there in the third, like depending how late it is. But to do it before the intermission, I think is just so important because you can go back in, reset here, know that you're right back in this game here, and all of a sudden we got a good game 3 here. And next goal is really important
for sure. And so big opportunity here if you're the Islanders, a chance to tie it up at 3 before the end of this period.
And a penalty now, power play. Yeah, that's right.
Power play. Yeah. Face-off comes out of the zone here, so now the Islanders will reset. 1:13 and ticking to go in this second period. Shots currently 20-18 in favor of the Islanders here. Still 3-2 Hurricanes right now. Palmieri drops it off, but it's intercepted by Jordan Stahl. Now a short-ended chance here as they come into the zone with an opportunity here on the left side. Now the Islanders...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like this, again, this needs to be... You need to find a way to get something going here. I don't think there's any other way to put it. Like, you got to find a way to get something here.
I don't understand. Tell me, like, from Isles fans here, I don't get. You have, and maybe that one graphic is wrong about Kyle Palmieri being a center. You have Horvat, Barzell, and Brock Nelson, 3 guys who play center.
Yeah.
All on the first power play unit. What does that tell you about this team?
They lack offense.
Right. Like, you have 3 guys who actually play center.
The big thing that Lou Lamoriello has yet to do in his tenure with the Islanders is get that big time goal scorer. They're lacking
a winger, man.
A winger, yeah. I'll give you one, Kyle. I'll give you one. Patrick Kane is a free agent this summer.
I don't think he goes to New York. The Islanders, I don't think he goes there. There's no way. I think he re-ups. I think he re-ups with Detroit.
Well, he described like his Twitter post was a little
cryptic,
and so was Steve Yzerman's presser as well. Do you notice that? Like he was like, "Oh, he was great for us this year. We appreciate his time." And I'm like, "So you're just not going to bring him back?"
Yeah, like what do you mean by that? Interesting.
Like, yeah, it's like that meme. What do you mean by that? Like,
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Right. 15 seconds ago, as we get a stoppage of play here for a high stick. As minute 14.4 to go in the second, 52 seconds to go in the power play. Do we have another penalty here?
Do we?
I gotta look again. I think there is a penalty, and I think it's against Matt Barzal. It's a high sticking call, so the power play is over for the Islanders. So we'll skate 4 aside for the last 14 seconds of this period, and then the Hurricanes, about a minute into the third period, will have an abbreviated power play.
That was such a quick call. I think they can't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, Barzal was looking like, why me? What did I do?
It was very quick. Like, Barzal just went in with the puck, and all of a sudden they just called high sticking for some reason. I just want to see the replay here. I completely missed it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
The replay?
Usually, it still says, okay, so we are going 4 aside, and Islander fans are freaking out right now. Absolutely freaking out.
Well, we're going to see the replay here. Barzal went into the zone on the power play, brought it back to Noah Dobson. Horvat over to Barzal. So Barzal has the puck.
So Noah Dobson just came off the bench. I'm so lost here. It's what's going on. Dobson's now skating towards center ice. Maybe they're saying Dobson's going to the box.
What was the
fans are clapping? I'm so Dobson's going to the box, not Barzal.
So what was the penalty though?
Oh, what? Okay. Dobson accidentally caught Jordan Staal in the face with his stick. That's what happened.
So what are the refs doing here?
They just got the wrong guy, is what we're being told.
How do you get the wrong guy?
I don't know. I don't know.
Cheering, and then all of a sudden they're going to start booing again because Dobson's now in the box. So they're going to show Dobson here.
For sure.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it is high sticking at the end of the day, but it's like, how do you get the wrong guy? Come on.
So that'll do it for the second period of play. So the Islanders, with goals from Pierre Engvall and Brock Nelson, get themselves on the board. Sebastian Aho added a goal as well for the Hurricanes. So it's 3-2 Hurricanes going into the third period of play here. So Kyle, looks like we might be in for a good one here down the stretch.
It's your season's on the line, right? And we both said 3-2 in OT. It's possible this still goes to OT though. I'm curious actually to see who else we had. I mean, Canes. I mean, Jared's looking pretty good at 4-2 for the Canes right now. Goza's got 5-4 for the Canes as well. Duke had 4-3 in OT. That looks pretty good too as well. Tron earlier on had 5-3 Isles, with the 5th being an empty netter. Still a possibility. So a couple of still possibilities out there for some of our predictions. And we're in for a good one though in the third. I can't wait.
We certainly are, and we'll talk about all of that and more here as we head to the second intermission report. But before we do that, we're going to step aside for another moment to get another word from our sponsors.
Was that 2 commercials?
Yeah, it was 2.
Sorry, my
You're
bad.
good. And welcome everybody here to our second intermission report of our game 3 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Islanders here in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And after 2 periods of play, we had 3 goals in that second period, 2 from the Islanders, 1 from the Carolina Hurricanes. And so the Hurricanes lead 3-2 after 40 minutes of play. So we look like we still could get a really, really good game here down the stretch. So again, Kyle, really quickly here, your thoughts from both teams' perspective here through 40 minutes of action.
Good response from the Islanders. You obviously don't want to let one in. You didn't want to let one up early on to go down 3-1. Being down a goal going into the third period means the world. This next goal is, I don't know if it sounds too outrageous to say, but I think this next goal is a real series changer, right? Because Canes get one here, pretty much ices the series. If the Islanders find a way here, all of a sudden, next goal wins. It looks like here in the third. We'll see how it goes. Maybe overtime too as well. But the Islanders find their way back in this series here if they can find, they can find some sort of way here in the third. And this next goal is going to mean the world to to this team.
For sure. And so it's really going to be interesting to see how this goes here down the stretch. And I think we are in for a good third period here again. Hurricanes find a way to win. They're up 3-0, have a stranglehold in the series. Islanders win. They get back in the series, force a game 5, at least a game 5 back in Raleigh. So really, really interesting to see what happens here down the stretch. As we do have some time, Kyle. We have some time.
What'd I miss?
To you, well, I flipped back to the NFL draft. We were talking about this during the first intermission. We are currently at the 10th overall pick. The New York Jets just traded down with the Minnesota Vikings. So now the Vikings are about to make their pick at 10. This is probably J.J. McCarthy. This would be my guess if I'm a betting man.
It is J.J. McCarthy, yeah.
So J.J. McCarthy, quarterback out of Michigan, national champion Michigan, goes 10th overall. So the Vikings, that is such a reach. Oh my God.
Wait, where were the Vikings initially?
14th? I think 14th. 16th.
So you had, because the Jets were on the clock again.
I think maybe they were at 11. I don't remember. Oh, so Kyle, you're going to laugh. You're going to laugh. The evaluation of J.J. McCarthy, winner, efficient, Alex Smith. Do with that what you will.
Oh, God.
I am just chilling.
So the trade, though, were you worried that the Jets were going to take J.J. McCarthy? Okay, thank you, Danelle. I appreciate that.
No, the Jets? No.
So why did you feel the need to go up one spot if you knew the Jets weren't going to take J.J. McCarthy and give up assets?
My guess is that there were other teams calling the Jets. And I think the Vikings got worried. And that was what they did.
Yeah, they traded up one spot. You thought the Jets were going to take J.J. McCarthy? Really? Well,
no. Well, no. Kyle, not this year. Kyle, as long as Aaron Rodgers is there will be no future quarterback behind him.
I would have understood if the Jets. I don't know. I guess if the Jets don't know because they have to feed Aaron Rodgers.
Now, right? Yeah. I'm telling. So we are at pick 11 now. This is Brock Bowers.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia. Okay, stop with this comparison. It is annoying. He ain't that good. I'm sick of it.
Okay, but if the Jets,
how is J.J. McCarthy like C.J. Stroud? Someone tell me how that is the comparison.
It's not. But okay.
Bro, he's going to be Daniel Jones 2.0.
So what I don't understand, though, is if for the Vikings, why would you be nervous if the Jets were going to take him knowing that you have Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
I give the Jets credit, man, because they're in
I do too.
Lose situation. It's like they get a call. We'll give you a couple extra picks to move down a spot. They're like,
done.
Let's do it.
You.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
So if the Jets are smart, they should try to get weapons for Aaron Rodgers, something the Packers did not do. So
I'm just so happy as a Seahawks fan, man, because it's
you
like you go down to
that.
6. What?
JJ McCarthy's biggest issue, fumbling problems. Who does that remind me of? Knowing you, Daniel Jones 2.0. Do not be surprised.
Let us know in the comments, too. I know we're talking about football, who your favorite NFL team is.
Or CFL, if you are a CFL
guy. Or CFL, like Lauren mentioned earlier.
If you like the United Football League and you're big into spring football, put your comment in there.
Also a good point.
Kyle doesn't even know what I'm talking about right now.
Oh, the UFL. I know the UFL. What are you talking about? I know the UFL.
Are you watching? You've been watching it at all?
I watched the odd game, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard on a weekend. It's hard.
Birmingham.
Birmingham. No, it's all about St. Louis, the Battlehawks.
Oh, that is the greatest name.
They have the biggest attendance, I think, of any team in that league, which makes sense.
How about the Utah Battlehawks for the NHL?
No, doesn't. No, the Utah Hockey Club. The Arena Football League is coming back, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that. It's coming back this weekend.
Did you ever see, what Antonio Brown did with that?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's weird.
It's so wild.
How about, does anybody subscribe to his Twitter account?
The Jets pick is in. They have selected an offensive tackle.
Wait, what?
Yes, they selected.
They took Fashanu from Penn. Oh, you know what? That's actually a good pick. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's actually a pretty good pick.
Yeah. I have to go to the bathroom actually. So give me 2 minutes.
Sounds good. So Kyle will be back in a little bit. So yeah, again, we just have this going on. One thing I did want to talk about, kind of going back to hockey. How about the Los Angeles Kings last night? Big time win in Game 2 in Edmonton. Anze Kopitar with the game-winning goal in overtime. So the Kings are in that series for sure, as now the series shifts to Los Angeles in the crypto.com or whatever it's called at this point arena. So really curious. And you know what's also interesting is that I think the Denver Nuggets Los Angeles Lakers series is also shifting to LA. And I know the Clippers are in the playoffs as well. So a lot of action in sports in the city of Los Angeles. But again, going back to the Kings, I want to bring this up to everybody that's in the chat right now. Who do you think is the greatest Los Angeles King of all time? I was actually talking about this earlier today with a couple of people, and 2 people told me they believe it's Anze Kopitar. I know a lot of people would say it's Wayne Gretzky, blah, blah, blah. He brought hockey to California. I don't look at Gretzky's performance, an overall impact, as making him the greatest LA King. There's a lot of, Marcel Dion is a good one. You got Dustin Brown, Drew Doughty, Jonathan Quick. Anze Kopitar, I think, is the best out of all of them. He has been that productive, super clutch, a great leader. So I think that's kind of the way that I would look at it. So I think for me, I would look at it that way. We do get a score update in the Panthers Lightning game. Steve Loretz just gave the Panthers a 4-2 lead with 8:49 to go in the third period. So right now, the Panthers are on their way to going up 3-0 in that series against the Lightning here. So again, you're going to need a big response if you are the Florida Panthers for sure. I'm actually going to flip over to that while we have some time here. 8:10 to go in that one. Again, Steven Loretz just gave the Panthers a 2-goal lead. But again, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Anze Kopitar is the greatest LA King of all time? Or who do you think is the greatest Los Angeles King of all time? I'm actually going to put it in the chat here. Okay. All right, so there we go. So again, we are live streaming here on YouTube, our Twitch, as well as our Facebook as well. So my question to all of you is, Who is the greatest LA King of all time? Let me know in the chat who you guys have. For me, I agree with some people I talked to earlier today. I'm going to go with Anze Kopitar. I think when you look at the impact that he's had in his entire career, leading the Kings to 2 Stanley Cup championships, the success that he has, even at this stage of his career, I think would be great. So many busters bet on Tampa Bay and New York Islanders. Any underdogs will come out of the West. Maybe it's the LA Kings. My underdog actually for the West to come out and pull up that upset is the Nashville Predators as well. So that's kind of interesting.
Luc Robitaille.
That's your
But
answer?
yeah, I like Anze Kopitar. That's a good one. Oh, hey, Luc Robitaille. There you go.
There you go.
I like Luc Robitaille. I don't think you can discount Drew Doughty. Kopitar is probably like my serious pick. Outside of that, man, I mean, you just think of the recent Kings because of their Stanley Cup wins, right? So I was just gonna say Rob Blake actually too. Yeah, that was another one. I was trying to think of the name, but yeah, Rob Blake.
Rob Blake is a good one.
Contributor. Rob Blake is another good one. I like, and I know you. I mean, I kind of heard you say too, Wayne Gretzky. I mean, yeah, like that's it's an easy one to say, but I think you can say like he spent most of his time in Edmonton, right, and spent a short period of time there in LA. So you're thinking the guys who really were committed there long term. I would like to think you're right. It's got to be Anze Kopitar.
For sure. I think it's a good one. I also, like I was telling them before, I flipped over to the Panthers Lightning game. 8 minutes to go in the third. Steven Lorentz just made it 4-2 Florida. So right now, the Panthers are in the driver's seat looking to take a stranglehold. Kyle, are you surprised by the Panthers? Jonathan Quick is another one I brought up before. But are you surprised by how much success the Panthers are having right now against this Lightning team?
Scary that they're having this much success already. Without Sam Bennett tonight too. Yeah, I mean, you saw it too early on home ice. Even in game, like I think the Panthers won this series. I think it's over if they finish it off tonight here in the third period. They won this series for me already 10 minutes into the first period. Shots were, I think, 11-0 already on Tampa. Tampa didn't register a shot on goal, I think, that entire first period. It was that bad. Tampa's just really slow out of the gate. They were slow out of the gate again tonight. They were slow out of the gate in game 2, and it came back to bite them. And, overtime, I think, changes things. Verhaeghe obviously gets it done there in game 2, but yeah, not a good sign if the Panthers are all of a sudden rolling pretty well here. And if they match up here against Boston or the Leafs there in round 2, it's they're clearly going to be dogs in that one against Florida. They're a scary team to watch, especially with how well they're buzzing right now.
Without question. So we are just about to get underway here in our third period of our game. Hurricanes, Islanders. Hurricanes up 3-2 going into the third period. So Kyle, we know what the stakes are going into this third period here. What are you looking for from both teams, starting with the Hurricanes here in this next 20 minutes of play?
I think this is going to be a big test here for Freddie Anderson, right? You got a chance to really lock down this series. The Islanders are going to come out here firing because I imagine, like, hey, you're down 1 here. Obviously the Canes are going to do what they do. They're going to use their speed. They're going to use their chances off the rush here to try to capitalize a little bit. So I would imagine this is a big period for Freddie Anderson to really prove why he is the true number 1 netminer going forward for the Hurricanes in these playoffs. And for the Islanders on the other side of the coin, I'm not worried much. I mean, you can probably look at Sorokin too. You've had a bad start to these first 2 periods. You got a chance to lock it down here. Give your team another chance here to try to tie this game up here. And, you got to win this 5-on-5, right, for the Islanders. If you're going to find a way to tie this game, it's got to be a way 5-on-5.
Now we'll see what both teams have in store for us here as this third period gets underway. As I know, again, we kind of showed you a little bit of the NFL draft. As now the Hurricane Islanders come in with a shot right away from Horvat. And that one is stopped by Anderson here just 15 seconds into this third period. We did just have another we had the 6th quarterback off the board already. Bo Nix at 12 to the Denver Broncos. That is 6 quarterbacks in the first 12 picks. So there you go.
It's good for my Seahawks. Thank God. That's good for my Seahawks, man. Rolling in at
Interesting.
16.
So now the next quarterback to keep your eye on, ladies and germs, is for Spencer Rattler out of South Carolina. Really curious to see where he ends up and why it should be Arizona because of his name. But here we go. Opportunity for the Hurricanes. Terrifying with a shot that gets deflected up off the boards. And now the Islanders look to come the other way here. Good poke check there by the Islanders. But now the Islanders keep it back in. But Horvat, sharp angle try, and that's fought up by Anderson. Hurricanes now begin a power play. It's about a minute in to go in it. So now we'll see if the Hurricanes once again can double the lead.
Sorry, now I'm just like really like looking forward here to this pick from Seattle coming up. I'm like nervous.
What pick are they again?
16. Stoffel. Actually.
Justin Williams, Mr. Game 7.
That's a great pick for an LA
and he's and people love him in Carolina. People love him in LA. I mean, he had a long, very successful career for sure. NBA playoff update. We do have the NBA playoffs as well. Sixers up 98-95 going into the fourth quarter against the Knicks as the Sixers look to try to cut the series down to 2-1 in that series.
Hurricanes now closing off the power play here as well.
Yes, they are. 13 seconds to go on it. Brent Burns top of the point, left side now to Aho. Aho with it. Now to Gensel with a shot, and that deflected up into the air. And now the Islanders will get to it. And Kyle Palmieri will clear it. And that'll do it for the Hurricanes power play. So Islanders with a big kill there early in this third, just about 2 minutes in. Still 3-2 Carolina. Islander fans showing their support there after that kill, as now Zizekas in the offensive zone. Throws the feet in front. Good diving poke check block by Brent Burns. Puck in the right corner now. Islanders keeping it in for a moment, as now Bo Horvath throws it in front. It's deflected into the left corner. It's now Zizekas, top of the point. That shot is blocked away by Anderson. Thought that went out of play, but the ref says play on here. Now the Hurricanes try to go the other way, but it's snuffed out. And now Mike Riley will settle it up here.
Gensel had a really good chance there, man.
Now I thought that was a goal. I actually really thought that was going to end up being a goal here, as now that shot slowly gets to Varlamov, and he'll cover as Chatfield and Pelech both slow to get up. Chatfield looked like he got the worst of it, but he seems to have gotten up to his feet here. And Pelech is wondering why there's no penalty for a high stick there, but I guess the ref didn't see it.
Well, I guess he didn't.
Well, I guess he didn't. So there you go.
Again, reminder for everyone here, just letting everybody know tomorrow night we have 2 streams going on tomorrow. It's Capitals Rangers from our guy Richard, who'll be doing that one there from the Grit and Barrett for the Capitals Rangers game 3. And our other manager, I guess you can call him if you want, our other slacker, Dylan, will be doing the Predators.
Other slacker, Jesus. Jesus.
That's okay. He can't do nothing. He will do game 3 tomorrow night between the Predators and the Canucks. He'll have that on top for you. And then we're off for the weekend as well, too. Myself and Neil will probably be back on Monday. We'll have Capitals Rangers again for you guys on Sunday. Canes and Islanders game 4 Saturday.
Just a quick NFL draft update. Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia, just went to the Raiders. So that was an interesting pick right there for the Raiders. So there you go.
I like it. I got my eye on one guy.
We also did have an NFL draft history first. First time in NFL draft history that 6 quarterbacks went within the first 12 picks.
That's crazy. I do have my eye on one guy here.
And I think I know who it is, and I'm telling you they're not going to get him.
Who?
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I really don't actually know. Cooper DeJean.
Dallas Turner or Terrion Arnold from Alabama.
Oh, okay. I got you. I was thinking Cooper DeJean, but that's okay.
Cooper DeJean. Who is that?
The white corner from Iowa.
Oh, God.
Why he's the next Jason Sehorn.
The white corner. Nice.
Ooh, Huck's telling us we do have a Lightning goal. So it looks like the Lightning have cut the deficit to 1 at 4-3 with a few minutes to go in the third period of that one.
Okay, so, Lightning's still in it on that one there. Late in the third, they're still in it.
And we're still early on here in this third period of our game. Hurricanes, Islanders as Bortuzzi loses the puck now, and now Kuznetsov will slow it up for the Hurricanes. I think if you're Carolina, Kyle, you got to find a way to get a goal here within the next couple of minutes. Go up 4-2, really kind of snuff out any momentum that the Islanders might have in this moment.
That's why I'm saying, man, this next goal can really change the series here.
For sure. Looks like Charles is back in the chat here, so that's good. Good to see you again.
Low shots tonight, eh? 23-19 for the Islanders.
Yeah, it's a low shooting night. A lot of blocked shots from both teams, which I think is like not entirely surprising because I feel like that both teams kind of play in a defensive system like that type of play. So
good
I'm not
question
really
here, by the way. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Picks for next Islander goal. I have Barzell. I'm actually going to go with Anders Lee to get the next one for the Islanders.
Anders Lee, eh? I'm going to go, I'll go Pelech from the point. I don't know why.
Speaking of Pelech, he just dumped the puck into the zone.
Nice. And then for the Canes, because we'll do it on the other side here, I'll go, I think Aho's having a good night. Let's give it to Aho again.
I'm going Jarvis. Get the next one.
I was going to say him, too.
Yeah. Well, see, you and I are great minds think alike, you know? That's the way that I look at it.
Great minds and silly minds.
Oh, yeah. Because now we got about 5 minutes into this third period here. Still 3-2 Carolina here. As now the Islanders will dump it into the zone. Puck now into the Carolina zone. Yep.
Sorry. Is it crazy to me? They just showed the graphic that in June is the Stanley Cup final. Is it wild that we have another month of playoff hockey?
Month and change.
Yeah.
You feel like we're going through it like really quickly here, but again, we're still in the first round.
We are in the first round, and we're a month in, like you said, a month and change away from the final.
Got a long way between now and then, for sure.
Also, I appreciate the extra couple people who appreciate the extra couple.
That shot there just goes wide in the slot. I don't know how the Islanders didn't cash in there. I believe it was Bo Horvat. Islander player gets knocked down. Fans want a penalty, and it looks like the refs are going to let him play. As Svechnikov coming in, slap shot there gets deflected off the stick of Pelech. Now to the right side in the Islander zone, just about 6 minutes into the third. As now here comes...
Taking it had the same as you, by the way.
No, nice. Very nice. For both, I'm assuming?
I think for both, yes.
All right, fair enough. So that puck wraps around the boards here. There's now Noah Dobson. Puck down the right corner. Palmieri. Palmieri now in the left corner here. Still with it. Loses the puck. Give it over there and a drive over. Romanov. That would have stopped. Scramble in the crease, but Anderson's got it.
Telling you, man, big period for Anderson. Really big period for him.
Absolutely right. 13:36 to go. In the third, still 3-2 Hurricanes here, but the Islanders are pushing to try to tie this one up.
Your season on the line, boys. Oh, he just got it too. If he didn't see that puck, that would have gone in.
Yeah, man, I think that was Kiefer Bellows, number 20 for the Islanders.
I believe you're right.
If he had gotten there, it might have been a tap-in goal. We got a tie game.
I believe you're right. That was really close because he just kind of leaned back and just had his glove right on it. He's like, I know where it is.
That was a big-time goal for sure. I mean, that was a big-time chance. As Nick Paul got the most recent goal, 4:14 to go in the third period there. So the Lightning still trying to find a way to tie this one up here as they are still in danger of going down 3-0 to their Florida rivals, which... Man, the Panthers, they look good, man. They really do. They look really good. So far.
They do. There's a couple of teams that I think you can look at and go, man, they look good. They look really good. How surprised were you last night? Because we all thought after game one, and you were talking about the Kings earlier, like we all thought it was over after game one between the Kings and the Islanders, or Kings and Oilers, excuse me.
Same color scheme.
How close enough? Is it a series now? Kings got one there. You don't get worried until you lose one at home. And the Oilers lost at home in game 2, going back to LA.
I think we do have a series. I think we do have a series because Stuart Skinner, man, you know, he finished the year off pretty strong. I'll give him that. But there's always a time when things can turn around and you could have issues. So I would say that, honestly, yeah, I think we do have a series, honestly.
I I don't know why, but I feel like this will go 6 or 7 again.
All right.
And it makes no sense because you'd think, like, even last year, like, the Oilers should have handled their business in, like, 5 games to the Kings, and then it went, like, a scary 6, and they had 7 the year prior or whatever, right? And, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, like, I don't know, man. Like, it didn't seem like it shouldn't seem like the Oilers should be dominating this. Like, it should seem like, excuse me, that the Oilers are dominating this series. I can't use my words now all of a sudden. Jeez Louise.
All right.
Charles saying Gensel saying, or excuse me, Charles saying Gensel gets the next goal here.
All right. He's been a bit quiet so far in these playoffs. You want
He's
your
been
Rangers
very.
playing the Isles though? Oh, he's talking to kicking
That's
the
okay.
accent. Also, I want to just mention this. The Hurricanes come into this game. They have won 14 of the last 16 playoff games they've played against the Islanders. A reminder, they played each other in 2018 and the Hurricanes swept them. 2019, the Hurricanes swept them. And then last year, they won or then it was like 2021, they won in 5. And then last year, they won in 5.
Right.
So, I mean,
Okay.
they've had the Islanders' number here. Because, again, they're looking to try to find a way to win this one here and go up 3-0. Panthers right now still up 4-3 with 148 and
Ooh,
ticking to
jeez.
go in the third. So that one's definitely going down the wire. And it looks like this one that we're covering tonight might as well with 12:45 and ticking to go. Still 3-2 Carolina.
Andrew saying the Bolts have an empty net.
All right, so we'll keep our eye on that for sure. Here is now Pollock with a shot that gets blocked into the right corner. Barzal still with the puck, and now the Hurricanes will settle it up. Here is Aho, chips it up the boards, and that goes back into the Islander zone. Svechnikov fighting along here with Pelech, and now Gensel get to it, wrap it around the boards, getting it over now the right side of Chatfield. Now to Dmitry Orlov. Orlov tried to get around Horvat, but Horvat intercepts. Here come the Islanders. Horvat with some space. Drop pass now over to Pelech. Or Pulak, Pulak around the boards to the left side, where Aho will chip it out of the zone. I get Pulak and Pelech confused all the time, just because their names are so similar.
It's true.
I mean, they're both defensemen. It's great. As Bortuzzo with a shot, puck is out in front, but the Hurricanes get to it first, and they look to try to come the other way as they almost got a 3-on-1. And now they get it here. Oh, and a great pump check by Varlamov. There as Martin Necas was all alone in front. Who had a great chance. Barzal coming the other way now, back into the Hurricane zone. He throws it, tried to throw it, and now the puck is in the right corner. Puck now. Anders Lee gets a drive from Dobson, and that shot is blocked just wide there of Anderson with 11:18 and ticking to go in the third. Good pressure here. As it looks like, by the way, Kyle, it looks like the Panthers just got an empty net goal, I believe.
Matthew Tkachuk. Yeah, RJ saying Matthew Tkachuk with the empty netter. That'll do it.
So that'll do it. So Tkachuk with his second goal of the night, and the Panthers are on their way to going up 3-0 over the Tampa Bay Lightning here as we get some pushing and shoving after the whistle with just a little under 11 minutes to go in the third. Islanders pushing here, still down 3-2 here in game 3.
God damn Tkachuk, man. That's frustrating.
He's so good.
Thanks. I know.
I wanted him on the Devils. Believe me, I'm not happy.
I wanted him on Calgary, and look what happened. He didn't want to play in Canada.
Well, you have Sharon Govich. Be happy.
Yay.
He got 30 goals, and you're not happy about it.
No, I am happy about that. I am.
Andrew B says Tampa Bay is weak this round. Yeah, I mean,
they've been slow, man.
This is it. I got to be honest. This is it for them. This was it. I think this was the last, kind of go around for them.
Hoorah. Yeah, I mean, good luck. I mean, that's tough, man. But hey, it's not over till it's over. You gotta just play it one period at a time here and see what happens, right? But yeah, for John Cooper's boys, it's not an ideal situation to lose 3 straight. And it didn't seem like that the Lightning were going to lose 3 straight.
No.
Nobody picked the Panthers to a sweep, right? Go ahead.
I didn't pick them to sweep. I don't even remember what I picked them in. I think I picked them in 6. I think that was my guess. Might have been 7.
I had Lightning in 7, but
you did have that upset.
Sometimes you get them wrong.
As always, Martin took that pass just out of his reach. Should also mention Hurricanes have outscored the Islanders 6-0 in the third period so far in this series. So they've really made
Yeah,
the
that's not
third
pretty.
period that. And also, you were mentioning how Freddie Anderson, is going to be tested a lot. He's only seen 8 shots on goal in this period, which is the least he's faced all night. Granted, we still got 10 minutes to go, but just thought I'd mention that.
Hey, said at the beginning of the intermission, though, second intermission, you need Anderson to play well. He's been focused. He's been dialed in here, and you got to give him credit. He's played really well here.
As Barzell with a shot that gets blocked to the left side. As now the Hurricanes trying to get it out here. Stefan Nason just able to chip it up. Might be a 2-on-1 for the Hurricanes. Chatfield with Drury. Drury comes in with a shot, and that one is fought off by Varlamov. Puck's loose. Svechnikov gets to it. Over the left side. Kuznetsov with a shot, and he roofed it just over and out of play. 9:27 to go in the third. Hurricanes still holding on to a 3-2 lead. Nearly was able to double the lead again. But again, Varlamov with a big save who continues to stand strong since coming in for Sorokin back in the second.
When did Varlamov come in? I must have missed that.
Well, I told you, Varlamov came in after the third goal when Aho made it 3-1 back in the second. And Varlamov has been in ever since.
Got it. Thank you. Totally missed that.
Where have you been tonight?
I don't know where I've been.
Stop watching the NFL draft.
I'm not watching it. I've been in La La Land.
Your pick is coming up soon, though.
I know, because I've been watching it off to the side.
I'm chilling. Giants.
I know you are.
I don't have to worry.
As soon as that pick's over, I'll be good. I'm freaking out.
I was like, I don't care anymore after that.
I'm freaking out a little bit.
So, Kyle, let me ask you this really quickly. Do you think the Panthers sweep, or do you think there's a gentleman's sweep when we go to Game 5?
Gentleman's sweep. I think the Lightning come back here in Game 4, but I like the Panthers at home. You'll see a home and home, I think. I like the Panthers in 5. Wouldn't surprise me if they sweep, though.
I think it's a sweep.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's a sweep. Wouldn't shock me at all. Does this, now, here's the question. If they get swept, or whatever, in Game 5, whatever, take your pick. What does this do for Steven Stamkos?
I mean, he's gone either way, in my opinion.
Do you think it's that easy? Do you think he's gone either way?
I just think he'll want to get one last big payday.
Mm-hmm.
That's because he's won a couple cups now. What has he got to play for? I mean, the only reason I think he stays in Tampa is because
he wants to cash in.
Yeah, and they still have a good team. They can make the playoffs and stuff. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough.
I think Vasilevsky's been through the ringer. I think this team's really bad. It kind of showed it early on, too, in that series. It was a slow team coming out of the gate. Like I mentioned there in Game 1, you had 11 shots on goal to nothing for the Florida Panthers on Tampa Bay. Tampa didn't have a shot on goal for the majority of that first period in Game 1, and it really started to show early on. So, to kind of see, going into Game 2, they were slow out of the gate. Coming into Game 3 here, playing from behind. It doesn't help when you're just playing from behind and you're playing catch-up here. And for the Islanders, it's the same thing here, man. They're playing from behind again, and you got 9 minutes to tie this thing up.
Absolutely. I also want to mention, Kyle, we have 82 people in the chat right now. So we've gotten a lot more people in here. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Again, if you're enjoying what you see, make sure to leave a like on the stream. Subscribe. We just reached 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube earlier tonight. And also hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live here every day throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. You are number one place for NHL live watch-alongs and hockey live watch-alongs throughout the entire hockey season. So thank you to everybody who's jumping in here as we got 9:06 to go in the third. Hurricanes still up 3-2 here. Hurricanes win. They go up 3-0 and take a stranglehold on the series. Islanders win. They get back in the series, only trailing then 2-1 and at least forcing a Game 5 back in Raleigh here as that puck is loose in the right corner here in the Hurricane zone. But the Hurricanes will settle here and they'll flip it out. Does it feel like, Kyle, that the Hurricanes are playing a bit more back here in this third period?
You want to defend the lead here because you got, time's going to tick away pretty quickly here. I know we still got 9 minutes here, but time's going to tick away pretty quickly. So it wouldn't surprise me if they start playing a little bit more defensively here. But again, I probably wouldn't, though, because you want to fight for that next goal here. And, they've been playing well, though, defensively here in the third period thus far, knock on wood. But anything can happen, though, as, again, shots are still kind of low this game, too.
Connor, who just jumped in, by the way, what's going on, Connor?
Mm.
He says, looks like John Cooper might end up on his way out the door. But does getting swept, is that
No.
a terrible
Well,
offense?
unless management decides that he's done his time, right? And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like you're a good coach. I think this team just needs a rebuild and a retool a little bit. You're better off somewhere else. It's possible that Cooper goes. It's possible. Might
I'll
be.
tell you this right now, from the
No,
devil's
don't
perspective.
say it.
Yeah, I'm saying it. I don't care. I'm telling you right now, he becomes available. That changes a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, changes a lot, Neil. Changes a lot.
What's wrong with that? Why are you upset about it?
Well, it's good. I knew you were going to say that too. As soon as Carr brought up that comment, I knew you were going to say that. They're like,
What do you
well, the
want me
Devils
to,
all
what do
of
you
a
want me
sudden
to not acknowledge it?
they're going to go after John Cooper all of a sudden. It's like, all right.
Opportunity there for Zizekias, but a good save by Anderson. Mike Riley now behind the net. Chips now the right side over to Barzal. Barzal, that shot gets blocked before it gets to Anderson. Puck still loose, and now Teuvo Teravainen, he can't get it out, but he finally recovers it here. Teravainen backhands it over to Natchez. Natchez, he takes a shot, fans on it. Opportunity again, goes wide of the net with 6:40 to go. But I'm just saying, you think Tom Fitzgerald's not going to call him? He's just not going to if he becomes.
Oh no, of course he will if that's the case. No, he'll call him for sure. I also wanted to quickly mention before you finish up with the rest of the game here. I know Stoffel here missed the first two playoff streams. Connor's in the chat as well here. Again, to let Connor know and everybody else, we got two streams going on tomorrow night. We'll have Capitals Rangers for you, and we'll have Canucks and Predators for you as well. Dylan will be doing that one on that side. Richard will be doing Capitals Rangers tomorrow night. So we'll have two streams going on tomorrow night. Make sure to check it out.
So again, we got streams coming up every single day here on the channel throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs, covering every team here that's going on. We got 93 people in the chat right now. Thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate it. Again, leave a like and subscribe. Really, really does help out here. As now Pajot with the puck over the left side to Romanov. Shot! And that one is stopped and covered by Freddie Anderson as he was down on his side. What a save by Freddie Anderson with 5:45 to go in the third.
I'm telling you, man, he's coming up big again.
Romanov with some opening. He tried to go top shelf, but Freddie Anderson again with half his body in the net.
This is like the third time, man. Third time he's made a huge save tonight. Fantastic by Freddie Anderson. He's been so good.
Unbelievable.
Oh, he slipped too. He slipped in the crease.
Did he slip or did he get knocked down? I guess he slipped.
I think he slipped, but the others might argue that he kind of got knocked down, maybe. Or excuse me, that the Hurricanes are arguing that he got knocked down.
It's tough to say.
And Andrew, Jimmy will be doing Sunday. So for the weekend, guys, to let you know, Saturday we have Canes and Islanders game 4. Game 4, Capitals Rangers Sunday. Jimmy will be doing that one. You can also confirm I'm not expecting Canucks to take the series 4-0. Yesterday was Patterson's most brutal game, and he'll be nearly $12 million this season. God help us. Good luck without Thatcher Demko. I don't pray for injuries, man. Like,
right.
I hope he gets better. Like, it's just unfortunate timing. But good luck.
And I think it's pretty much certain that it's not clear when he'll return.
I think Friedman, or I don't know who mentioned it today. I don't know if it was Friedman or not. I don't know if Demko returns for the series. If it goes 7 games for some reason, it wouldn't shock me if Demko gets in net. It probably wouldn't surprise me if he finds the way in between the pipes. So
who is their backup? I'm already forgetting.
Casey DeSmith will be starting game 3 tomorrow night.
Every Penguins fan is laughing their ass off as we speak.
Well, he's not because he's in a playoff game and they're not. So
that's true. But Kyle, I think if the Hurricanes do find a way to win tonight, I think the story of this game is Freddie Anderson with a couple of massive highlight reel saves.
Yep. Sorry, I'm just waiting. The Seahawks are the clock, man.
Okay, Kyle is gone until the Seahawks pick whoever they feel like picking
We're
in the
NFL
draft.
What are you talking about? We're in the commercial break right now.
Well, no, we're actually back. You're behind me, so we're back.
Oh, goddamn. Well, I'm on commercial.
If Dobson throws it, that gets blocked into the right corner here with 5:35 to go in the third. As now McLean takes a shot, and that one is gloved and covered by Anderson here with 5:34 to go in this one. Kyle McLean, I should also mention, Kyle, his father, John McLean, former New Jersey Devil, and also, I think, New York Ranger, is the assistant coach for the New York Islanders. So kind of an awesome opportunity for McLean to be playing in front of his dad on a night-to-night basis behind the bench.
Can I quickly just say something here? I know I had the draft on, but I know you want to hear this because it's hilarious. So apparently the Falcons pick with that quarterback, Kirk Cousins was shocked and disappointed that they went with a quarterback.
This is why the Falcons are a poverty franchise.
Just wanted to say that back.
I don't get it. That's the shocker of the draft so far. I don't get that.
Yeah. Back to the game, though.
I'm telling you, Raiders fans, like Antonio Pierce was probably breaking stuff when Penix went 8. He probably was breaking stuff.
It's so funny.
I bet you Penix was shocked too.
I bet you he was, man.
He was like, wait, what? Like, why? Like, I'm not playing. Whatever.
Charles saying that's all right. No, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. 4:40 to go in this third. Pulak tries to get around Brady Shea. Backhands it, but nobody's home. And now here comes Jake Gensel up the left boards here. He'll dump it back in. Good crunch hit there by the Islanders as Varlamov will play it. Shots 30-22 in favor of the Islanders. I can't believe the Islanders have actually been out shooting the Hurricanes this entire game.
Me too.
Just a really good job by the Islanders defense to block a lot of shots in front. As now that puck goes into the left corner here. As now both teams fighting for it. Chanfield, Palmieri, Bellows gets to it for the Islanders. Now Dobson stops. Wrist shot! And that one is gloved and covered by Anderson with 4:03 to go in the third. Kyle, my question to you is this. When do you start looking to pull Varlamov here for the extra skater down by a goal?
I think if you're the Islanders, it doesn't shock me if they pull them maybe in another minute here. And I know I'm a little bit behind you. 3-minute mark, I think they'll probably pull Varlamov.
I also want to correct myself. That is not Kiefer Bellows, number 20. That's Fashing, number 20.
Oh, Fashing. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
I want to see Atlanta with another hockey team. I don't. I just don't.
Third time's the charm?
No.
Maybe.
So why does Atlanta get it 3 times, but Quebec can't get it one more time?
The fact that Quebec doesn't have one is ridiculous.
They're pushing. They have an arena. I don't get it. They must hate Quebec. They must really hate.
Probably.
I don't
so again,
get
tomorrow night, guys. Sorry, I just wanted to quickly say we have the times for tomorrow night. 7:00 Rangers Capitals will be live for that one. Canucks Predators 7:30 Eastern will also be live for that one as well. Go ahead.
There you go. So we're covering both of those games tomorrow. So again, we will be live less than 24 hours again tomorrow night. Here we go. 3.5 minutes to go in the third. Pajot gets around, couple of moves, loses the puck, and that's backhanded out of the zone by Gensel. Svechnikov comes up with some speed. Svechnikov with a shot, and that one gets blocked up and out of play. We'll get another face-off here with 3:23 to go in the third. Hurricanes still up 3-2 here. Hurricanes win. They go up 3-0. 1 win for moving on to the second round. But if the Islanders win, they're back in the series and they force a game 5 back in Raleigh in a couple of days.
At the very least. They need it here,
right?
They need it. They need it here.
For sure. Atlanta's getting an arena. Great. Fantastic. I still don't think it's going to work. I don't care. Try it again.
Way to tell the people, Neil.
I'll tell it like it is. I'm calling both games. That's not it.
Good.
It's now got 3:15 to go in the third. Kyle is stressing, but not because of this hockey game. Steps it into the right corner here. Anderson will play it around the board.
Just make the pick.
Dmitry Orlov. Islanders keeping in with 3 minutes to go in this one. Orlov backhands it over to Gensel. Gensel now with some space as he'll chip it in here. Varlamov's still there. We'll keep an eye on him to see when he moves. 2:50 and ticking to go in this third. Noah Dobson walking up. Now gets it over. By the way, should also mention, teams up 3-0 win the series 98% of the time in the NHL. Just saying.
Great. Also,
Just
104 people, by the way.
we do have 103, 104 people. So, again, thank you all so much for hanging out with us here down the stretch. Again, continue to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell as now Pajot with the puck now to Barzal. Gets it top of the point to Mike Riley. That's intercepted. Hurricanes now with it. Kotkaniemi still with it. Varlamov still in his net as of now with 2:06 to go in the third. Hurricanes holding on to this 3-2 lead.
You got to pull him, man.
You do have to pull him. You got to pull him ASAP. Engvall comes up the right side. Varlamov to the bench for the extra skater. As now Pulak over. Drive by Dobson just goes wide. Engvall with it now. Engvall turnaround shot. That gets blocked. Puck is loose. Brady Shea gets to it, and the Hurricanes get it out of the zone for now. Anders Lee, he'll come in, stops, tries to get it over, gets it to Dobson, chips it into the left side to Engvall. Engvall now. Over now to Horvat, top of the point to Riley. Riley stops. Over now to Dobson. Shot. That one goes wide to the right side. Mike Riley keeping it in for the Islanders. Islanders have a minute 20 to go in this one. Hurricanes still up 3-2. Puck now around to the left side, and it goes all the way back down to the Islanders zone where they'll have to go and reset. Minute 10 to go in the third. Dobson. Right side, over to Barzal, chips it now. Shot by Nelson, gets deflected just high and wide of the net. Hurricanes get to it. They fire it down, but they can't get it towards the empty net. Loose puck. Aho gets to it, tries to make a feed over, and he can't get to it as the Islanders get it. 50 seconds to go. Islanders desperately need a goal to tie. They'll dump it into the right side here where they'll continue to push. Aho intercepts it. He'll backhand it out, and now Pulak will go back and get it for the Islanders.
How much time do you have on your end?
I have 33 seconds and ticking to go in the third. Here comes Mike Riley. Riley lost the puck, but it's regained. Barzal with it. Lost it again. Hurricanes chip it out of the zone. 20 seconds to go in the third. Islanders need to get going here. Pulak waits. Long feed chips it up. Intercepted again. 13 seconds to go. Right side to Barzal. Barzal will fire it into the right corner. Wraps it around the boards with 6 seconds to go. Maybe one last chance here. Puck is loose. Hurricanes get to it. They'll chip it down, and that will do it as the Hurricanes hold on and win this one 3-2 and take a stranglehold on the series as they go up 3-0 with a chance to sweep it on Saturday night.
Too many turnovers there on the last 2 minutes for this Isles team, man. Too many turnovers. That just cost them.
And that is unfortunately how the cookie crumbles. We have 113 people in the chat right now. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us at the end. But it was a good game, I think, overall. It was a close game. We got our score prediction right, but we got the wrong team, and it didn't go to overtime. But nonetheless, the story of this one for me was Freddie Anderson. Great job by him. A couple of big-time saves. And the Hurricanes now just one win away from moving on to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take. Isles fans are not particularly in the best of mood here, but telling you, man, you look in the East, man, Carolina and Florida, both teams up 3-0, marching their way on here into the third round. So it should be good.
Without question. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for all the likes, getting us to 5,000 subscribers tonight. We really do appreciate it. Cheers to the next 5,000 subscribers.
Cheers.
Thank you again for everybody. We really do appreciate it. As always, make sure before you go to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live. We'll be live for 2 more games tomorrow night and throughout the weekend and also throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. Follow us on all of our social medias at hockeypodnet on Instagram and Twitter. And go check out all of the podcasts covering every team in the NHL and so much hockey content. You can check out my personal podcast, The Devil's State of Mind podcast, which covers the New Jersey Devils. You can also check out Kyle, all the stuff he does as our THPN manager, and also all the great work he does here on our live watch-alongs as well. So once again, thank you to everybody who joined us here tonight, and we will see you in the next live watch-along. Once again, the final score from the UBS Arena, the Hurricanes hold on and beat the Islanders 3-2, and now have a commanding 3-0 series lead in this best-of-7 first-round series. For Kyle Manifold, I'm Neil Villapiano. Thank you to everybody who joined us tonight. Continue to be the awesome people that you are. And as we always say at the end of every live watch-along, make sure to rock on.
Say something.